Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Reaver Express. My name is Matt, otherwise known as GrapeApe, and we want to welcome you back after a totally horrible session 2 weeks ago, where I tried to run it on my little tiny laptop, and we found out that 4 gigabytes of RAM is definitely not enough to manage that, for which I am not computer illiterate, so I've learned the hard way. But we are back tonight, ready to dive into it. We're missing a couple players. Josh has got COVID. He will not be able to join us tonight, Zerathon. I have COVID as well. So if I go into a coughing fit or, sneeze or, voice is a little scratchy, please bear with me. But Lou, we're not sure where Lou is. We sent him a message. Hopefully he'll be here. But we do have four stalwart adventurers that have joined us this evening. Chris, we'll start out with you. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hey, I'm Chris. Um, Game designer, Los Angeles, California. Glad to be here again playing the role of Coral, the elf, who has just reached level 2. And as everyone witnessed, I rolled a maximum 6 for my hit points, so Coral is no longer the hovering near death figure that he was in the past. So I think we can all be happy about that.
And as we were discussing before we went live, Coral gets to choose a new spell. And so, how we go about that in campaign play is when they're leveling up, if they've heard of a spell in their adventures, they found it on a scroll, something like that, they've seen it cast or recognized it through an intelligence check. They can attempt to learn those spells that they know of. Those are the known spells that go on their list, and they can try to learn those. I'm also going to allow, we have another wizard in the group, Daphne, who is run by Cirrus. Daphne, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself really quick?
Well, Daphne's been through quite a lot. She never would have expected to become some kind of wizard, but she has found herself a perpetually spell-burned, perpetually corrupted, down on her luck wizard. Her current luck score is 1. Yes, we're back to 1. So she's extremely unlucky, extremely spell-burned. Daphne perpetually looks under the weather, but she's doing everything she can to help along this party. And Daphne has been really, really frustrated with some of the unfortunate events that have happened to the party, questioning her lawful ethos. But she's decided that the misfortune's going to have her double down on her lawful ways. So she's hoping that that'll just drive her back into her organized mindset and trying to keep the party alive.
And so, as we were saying, Daphne is a wizard as well. So, if Daphne had a spell that she had heard of or knows, I would allow Daphne to teach Quarrel one of the spells if Quarrel so wanted one of those spells. Otherwise, Quarrel would have to learn from a wizard around town, see if they could find someone to teach them,
And
or barring all of that, if no spells were available, they could roll randomly, and then that would be the spell that they would go with.
and if I could make a recommendation, Magic Missile may be the spell to take if you don't have it already, because Daphne knows it because she inherited, and I'm going to cue up Sarah in a second. She inherited a grimoire from a former party member, and that's how she learned Magic Missile. Daphne very has never cast Magic Missile because she has an absolutely horrifically terrifying effect that may come into play. But she can teach you how to cast it. So this spellbook came to me via Seraphina, and was bequeathed to her upon Seraphina's passing. Seraphina was Sarah's character.
Yeah, it
And
was,
so,
Yeah, Sefna. It was all the way back from the funnel. I think she was one of the very first zeros to die.
I think so. Right at the strongman hammer bell
That's right.
thing.
Yeah.
So who are you playing this evening, sir?
I am playing Oracly, the buff halfling. Although his buffness might be, I don't know, reducing a little bit. Although he's still pretty strong, but his stamina, his cardio is maybe not as healthy and strong as it once was, given the trials he's endured in this swamp. But he's doing his best to try and keep his optimism afloat, but it's been a struggle. And yeah, if you think Daphne's down on her luck, Oracly is currently sitting at a whopping 0. So he's got new scars, new burns. Yeah, he's quite the character right now.
All right, and last but not least, Mark, who are you going to be playing?
I'm playing Barclay, cleric, who is also a bit down on his luck too, because he's been disowned by his deity Carpessa.
Right.
Um, yeah, not just as disowned, but also he recently kind of had another near-death experience, and not to mention he's got only 4 hit points right now, only 5 luck, a stamina of 4. Yeah, things are looking bad right now. Barclay's, not in a good place. But he's hoping to regain Carpessa's grace. Because we certainly need it to get through this part here.
They are definitely in dire straits, and they are trapped in this fen, this swampy bog-like area. The episode you guys missed, which is going to be the lost episode, but we might have some footage that might make it to YouTube. They went through the other trap door in the southeast, and it led down into a larger room with a very clear blue glowing liquid pool, kind of like a prep room for cleansing. It was a pool that was large enough for them to stand in. It almost looked like a bathing pool. There were worn, tattered robes on the sides. They did some exploring down there, drank some of the water. It was very refreshing and clean. They found some murals on the ceiling depicting uh, what's her name? Carpessa? No, not Carpessa. What am I thinking? Kyaset,
Yeah.
the moon goddess, who is a representation of Sheol. They filled up some water skins and they went exploring. After battling a blood uh, black ichor slime through a door to the north, they ventured kind of to the northeast and found the rats that they had met before and dispatched them. After advancing to another room to the east, they were introduced to like this scene by two ghosts, almost like a memory that was playing on repeat, in which it talked about someone sacrificing themselves and other. Let's see. What do you guys have in your notes? I don't want to give away too much if you haven't already remembered it. Let's see. Well, it gave them some information about a scene that was happened long ago that could be clues as to why the swamp is in the shape it is in. So they learned some information there, and then they went down into what looks like a living chamber with a blanket that had a snakeskin, a bed that had snakeskin blanket and a golden headrest. Our halfling oracly touched the snakeskin blanket, and four of the snakes slithered out from the blanket, weaving itself, coming to life. Several bites almost brought the party down, and Barclay, our cleric, was indeed poisoned by a poison that currently courses through his veins. We're not sure what's going on there. But just as they defeated the snakes, Daphne cast Freezing Hands, blasting three of them. Barclay tried to heal the group after the snakes were dispatched and rolled that horrible fumble again, which means they have to defer to all their defer to any orders from anyone. So the party is in dire straits. Agnar had just smelt um, gold in this room, and you guys found the golden headrest. I believe two of you were looking, Coral and Oracly, maybe were looking behind the curtain, or was it Visici?
Yeah, I think it was Visici. It wasn't Oracly.
I think Coral was over there too, right, Coral?
Yeah, I was doing the whole kind of secret door check thing.
Lifting up the curtain, there is indeed a small passage, not particularly hidden. You can see it. The only thing that's hiding it is the curtain itself, but it is pretty small. It's only about 2 feet high and 2 feet wide. A small square that leads further to the south. Is there anything I missed, you guys, that you think we should add?
I don't think so.
Um, I remember we found a
We have the
book that
water.
uh, had writings about a ceremony that was in there, and somebody stuffed it in their bag. But I think Barclay wants to take when we have time to take a look and read over that the ceremony that sounds like it went wrong.
That is true. And I believe someone made a intelligence check. The tomb is meticulously written in colored inks. The opening section is titled "Receiving the Cleansing Tears of Kyasit." There is a picture of a woman pouring water from a vessel, much like the one you guys found on the desk, into the eyes of another woman lying on her back. Another passage indicates that the cleansing pool's glowing blue water will wash away corruption. Other tenets and rituals for the lawful goddess Kyaset are discussed, and handwritten notes litter the margins. So the only thing you guys really didn't investigate were the handwritten notes.
Yeah, and we filled up a bunch of water skins with that water from the pool. Um, and so putting two and two together, I think we should keep in mind when we do go back to face that spirit woman and her eye raised lackeys that we want to use that water.
You also have the very large vessel that can be used to hold about 4 water skins worth.
Right.
But what do you guys want to do now? You guys are pretty
So my
busted up.
my 2 cents here, starting out, we're in bad shape. We are in a bedroom that has at least one door that locks, and we could potentially plug that hole with something. I don't think we're going to get a better chance to recharge a few points than now.
A good point.
Good idea.
Wait,
Do,
isn't I did miss a session, but I thought there was still some horrific phantom wandering around here somewhere, correct?
She's not wandering. She's in
Yeah,
the room to the north off the map right now. We
And
know
what
where she is, and she didn't follow us when we left, so we're presuming she's sticking into that in that room.
okay.
oh, before I forget, a lot of the tokens that we use are from Stefan Surratt's Dragon Peak Publishing. Elena, if you could post that link. Also, I have a new shirt to show you guys. Uh, the two OG shirts. Let me move this beard out of the way.
Hmm? Mm,
No,
needs more
not that one
faces for the camera to
anymore.
get it. Yeah.
Let's see. But I got it in black and white. Let's
Nice.
see here.
Yeah, your green screen's kind of.
Yeah, you gotta turn off
Yeah,
the green screen.
I'm just gonna turn that off here. Hold on.
Stand by. Shirt
15
in.
minutes.
There
There
we
you
go.
go.
Nice.
So that is the artwork with the two alkalites saying, "What can DCC do for you?" Available now on two old guy games website.
Love it.
And I'm not sure how many they made or how many they plan on making. They have a ton of different options available as far as what kind of shirts you can get. So I think it's direct from the manufacturer. But who knows how long these shirts will be available. So I figured I'd get mine early. And then some of the tokens we're going to be using are from Oxio Art. And of course, we're playing Escape from the Shrouded Fen by Terry Olson. Tonight, we are going to be giving away our giveaway from last week and this week combined into one for our holiday gift giving extravaganza. It will be a $25 gift card to the Goodman Games online store. And I think either next episode or the following episode will be our last one in the Shrouded Fen. I've contacted Terry Olson, and Terry Olson has agreed to autograph a copy of Escape from the Shrouded Fen and send it to the winner whenever we have our finale episode in a week or two. So we
Sweet.
got some great giveaways coming up. The $25 giveaway we'll get to later on tonight. And back to the adventure. All right, so you guys are in this nice little bedroom. There is a bed here with a snakeskin blanket on it that came to life, but definitely could be a sleeping material.
So my question though, will Barkley continue to deteriorate? Like, what is the deal with this poison? If we are we dooming you if we try to sleep for the night?
It is a good question. You have just finished the battle with the snakes, so you really don't know what kind of effect the poison is having.
But I still have the ability to cast lay hands on. I still have the ability to cast. I just have a high disapproval, right?
True.
Um,
Are you also poisoned?
that's what we think. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you could try
Uh,
drinking some of the special water. Maybe that couldn't hurt.
Oh
You
yeah.
guys came here. You guys came here early in the morning, so you know all the searching around through these rooms. A couple battles with the slime, the ooze, and the rats, the snakes. It's probably about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's still early. But you know you could definitely try to secure this place and get some much needed rest. You guys tell me what you want to do.
I think that's a good idea. I got nothing to help you with poison other than
Yep.
my friendship.
Well, let me try a little. This may go terribly wrong, but let me see if I can heal myself with the poison here. Uh, disapproval of 6.
Yeah, right, because you can heal poison with lay on hands.
Oh, and of
Uh-oh.
course,
So that is a natural roll of 4. So you will roll 4d4 for your
oh,
disapproval table.
As if you weren't in enough trouble already.
Yeah.
I'm,
Push,
yeah,
pushing the
being
boundaries.
being poisoned is the least of my worries right now, right? I mean,
So we're gonna need a bigger shovel because we just keep digging a bigger hole.
This could go pretty bad. Let's see
uh,
here.
page 122. I'm glad
One,
that,
two.
like disapprovals don't like add on top of each other. Like, you take the previous roll and you add the next value.
All right. What was your disapproval rate roll, Barclay?
I rolled a 9, so I rolled 44. I got a 9, and that is immediately incurs a -2 penalty on all spell checks that lasts until the next day.
But you do currently have a luck modifier of -3, is it?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part.
So that will
Yeah,
be a 12 again. This is the same one you had before.
yeah.
So as not to stack, we will roll. We'll go one above or one below. So roll me a D100. If it's 1 through 50, we're going to go down to 11. If it's 51 through 100, we'll go up to 13.
Down to 11.
Wow, down
All
to
right.
11.
So down to 11. 11 is going to be the cleric is ordered by his deity to meditate on his faith and come to a better understanding of what he has done to earn this disapproval. The cleric incurs an immediate and permanent -2 penalty to all spell checks. The only way to lift this is for the cleric to meditate. For every full day of meditation, the cleric can make a DC 15 will save. Success means the spell check penalties are removed. So this is going to be a long-term penalty that will have severe consequences because you have to essentially meditate for 24 hours, or at least 16 hours, a full day, before you can even attempt the 15 DC 15 will save.
Got rations,
Barkley
right? Rations,
Barkley's gonna
water.
go crawl into the corner over here and
Yeah.
just
Brutal.
I don't
All
see why he
right.
let
can't spend
let
24
that
hours there.
poison just embrace that poison. Let it flow. That's okay.
So we do have a little hole in the wall. We've got a bedroom, snake blanket on the bed. We got a book, a chalice. You guys gonna hold up in here?
I think we should.
Yep.
Have we had Mark drink any of that holy water yet that we found?
Not that I know of.
Okay, so I'd like to try that, but I have none of it. I actually didn't procure any of that. I just want to see if it has any beneficial effect on him whatsoever, because we really need a Hail Mary to get out of this. 'Cause we're pretty under it.
So I have some in my water skin I filled up, so I can drink. I'll drink some out of that and see if it helps.
Mhm.
Um,
The water is clear and refreshing, and it tastes good. You do not notice any other effect, though.
Mm.
This is kind of a wacky idea, but if we're all going to go to sleep, why don't you sleep on the golden pillow?
Oracly would definitely do that if suggested.
All right. So, what about this snake blanket? Are you guys just gonna cuddle up underneath the snake blanket?
Oh, is there still a blanket? I thought they turned into
Yeah.
snakes.
No, they unwove from the blanket. The blanket is still
Oh.
there.
Are there still
Oh.
snakes in the weaving?
There are still snakes in the weaving.
Probably
Hmm.
shouldn't
huh.
touch it then.
Yeah, I'd be scared of it now.
Yeah, I thought I mentioned that like 2 or 3 times. I said there is still this snake blanket here.
Oh, and it's on the bed, right?
It's on the bed. Now, you don't notice any decreasing amount of snakes from the first time that you saw it, oracly. When you came up to it and touched the golden headrest, or the blanket initially, it still looks exactly like the same blanket. Because four snakes unwoven from it, it doesn't look to be like depleted by four snakes, if you
Right.
know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, the magic could be used up. The only way to tell would be to touch it again or some other means.
Yeah, I mean, Oracly doesn't understand the magic behind it, so he would he'd probably look to Daphne and say, "Is this safe to touch now?"
Daphne looks at it from a distance. She gets out her magic detection stick, also known as Fred's crowbar. She pokes it a little bit with the crowbar. Matt, does it react to the crowbar?
It does not.
She seems to think it's safe. She says this does seem to be safe now.
All right. Oracly will go over and he'll get close to it and like put his hand like right next to it without touching it. Does anything happen?
No, nothing happens.
He'll put his hand on it.
Uh, Putting your hand on it, the snake skin of the front of the blanket is very cool to the touch. I mean, it definitely feels like snake skin. Kind of very pliable underneath. It has kind of a layer of fur uh, sewn to the bottom of it. So it looks like to be a very nice, well-made little blanket.
All right.
No
Nothing.
snakes pop out. No, nothing else happens.
All right. Then after a minute, he'll just kind of feel up the whole thing, feel the underside, and then he'll scoot in and get underneath it and cozy up.
Now, that's not to say nothing ever will happen, but right now, nothing happens. And laying on the bed, the golden headrest, Oracle quickly falls to sleep. What's everyone else doing?
I mean, I think we should do shifts since there's this open hole in the wall here. I think, I'll sit for a few hours and then somebody can relieve me and we can just, I don't know, what do we need? Like 8 hours to get points back? Is that kind of how it works mechanically?
Yeah, I would say 8 hours to reset disapproval. 8 hours of sleep to gain luck back and hit points. All right, Coral's keeping first watch. Daphne, Barclay, what are you guys doing?
Go to sleep.
Yeah, I'll go to sleep and then, but at some point take a shift. I can take
So
a second shift, I guess.
All right, and Daphne, are you going to bed? Are you going to get some rest?
So Daphne's going to cast. So we have the one door closed that we entered, correct? And the hole is on the opposite wall. Am I reading that correct?
Correct.
Mhm.
And um, I think I'm going to have Daphne try to cast runic alphabet on the door.
Nice.
See if we can get a little bit of extra security and protection here.
Very
Bear with me a
nice.
second. Let me figure out what my options are here. Um, well, that'll be a fail anyway. So, yep. So I lose a spell.
All right,
Darn.
so for all the viewers out there watching, you can use your channel points to help our party because they are in pretty dire straits. So if you want to give them a benefit to their role, you can definitely do so with those channel points. Or you can watch them fail miserably and laugh, cackle in glee. Uh, but that is a failure. So are you going to go to sleep, Daphne?
I don't know. It looks like somebody in the channel just redeemed a player reroll.
They,
I think that counts.
Does it count?
Elena, what was the? I need
Which is
verification
official.
from Elena. Was it a reroll that was used? Yeah. All right. So you can use that reroll if you would like.
I've never used this in a useful capacity, so I kind of just want to use it.
Uh,
You guys may want to petition chat a lot during this adventure because you are busted up. So go ahead and give us your reroll if you choose to use it.
Yeah, hold on one second. It is not going to. Sorry, I wasn't going to the channel.
there we go.
All right, so 17.
17.
17 is pretty good. The base 17 is a message, which isn't what I'd want to do. I think I can choose a lower level on this. Let me reread this.
Yeah.
I believe you can. Yeah, I believe on Runic Alphabet you can.
Uh, 'Cause I would want to go with the alarm, which is much better than the message. So let's do that. And actually not seeing that you can go with the lower level.
Yeah, it's in the description.
Yeah,
Should be.
it is.
Yeah, you can.
I'm going to go with you guys saying I just can't find it for the life of me. So I will take the alarm. Alarm sounds when the target object is disturbed. So when the door is disturbed, There's no save. It just makes a loud alarm noise. If I
Yeah,
can choose what the alarm
it's
noise.
in the middle of the general spell description. The caster can choose one ruin at or below the result of the check.
Okay, here. I remember it being there. I just couldn't find it for the life of me. All right, thank you. The alarm will notify the caster mentally and emit no audible noise. Um, so I will have it emit no audible noise and just mentally notify me.
All right, understood. And then you're gonna go to sleep.
Yes.
All right. Vasici has not arrived yet, so we'll say Vasici is also sleeping peacefully. Daphne, Barkley, and Orkley bed down to get some rest. Quarrel, is there anything you want to particularly be doing during your first watch? Anything you would be trying to pay attention to or notice?
Um, Certainly got my eye on that. Well, can we move the tapestry so that I can kind of be sitting on the other side of the room and have a view of the whole?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys can pull the tapestry to the side.
I don't know if my Python is still with us, but
Your Python lasted for 2 hours, maybe. I can't
he
remember how long.
he
Right.
will soon enough. Yeah.
Yeah, so he'll probably be gone during this first watch. Do you want to send him down to the south? I don't know if he can communicate telepathically with you.
I don't think so. No. Um,
Okay.
no, I'm just gonna kind of hang out here and watch and listen and be quiet. Like I don't really want to poke anything that's down there if it
Give me
hasn't got
a.
up yet.
All right, give me an intelligence check. Oh, that is very nice. So during the first hour, knowing that Barclay has been bitten by the snake, you're keeping a pretty close eye on him as you're watching other things. And you can see the wound around the bite begin to get very purplish, and his skin looks extremely pale. This is after the first hour. Barclay, you have lost 1 hit point.
Ooh.
And so this is what you notice during the first hour that everyone is asleep. Quarrel. Barclay is still asleep. He hasn't woken up yet. What would you like to do now?
Can I pour a little bit of water on his wound while he's sleeping?
Absolutely.
I'll try
You
that.
pour a little bit of water on the wound.
Holy
There's
water.
there's no real effect, no bubbling or anything like that, like peroxide would do. It still looks pretty purple. Uh, Still looks pretty painful.
Coral is gutted by this, but he doesn't feel like at this point waking Barkley up is going to do a lot of good. So he's just going to let it ride for a little bit, let him sleep for a little bit more.
All right, you wake. You go through the next hour. Barclay, give me a stamina check, please, or a fortitude save, either one. So you are watching him, and his skin is starting to sweat. He is getting beads of cold sweat all over his body. He is looking extremely pale now. Barclay, you have lost another hit point. Um, and with an 8 fortitude save, you actually wake up. Your breath is coming in very short. You've only gotten, about an hour and 15 minutes worth of sleep. Something's wrong. You feel sick. You feel not well.
Oh, this feels terrible.
You're not
I'm
looking
gonna
great, buddy.
I'm gonna try and heal myself again.
All right.
See if this does
Uh,
anything.
and we've got Lou jumping in, Elena. So welcome, Lou. All right. We will be right back, everyone. So get Lou added in there. All right, welcome back, everyone, and we've been joined by Luau Lu, otherwise known as Vasici. Thanks for joining us, Lou. And we are in the middle of it, Lou. They decided to go to sleep for the evening, even though it is a little early, and the poison that Barclay has suffered has immediately began seeping into his body, causing him to become very pale as he slept. Barkley, you have just woken up, and you feel like something's not right.
Yeah, I'm Barkley's gonna try and heal himself again. See if it lay on hands, see if this works this time.
Oh
You're
dear.
kidding me.
And so I have a gold ring of clove for reroll, which I don't think I've used for today.
I,
So I'm
I don't
going
think
to
you've used it in quite a while.
yeah, and so I'm going to use that this time. And does that mean I don't get disapproval? I get to, right? I can re-roll that.
Well, first you would roll, and then we would see what it is. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, so that was a 1. Yeah, so you definitely use it again, and
All right.
whatever your next result is, it will be the one we
All right.
take.
Let's see.
Whew.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
All
that
right,
is what a
so
reroll is for. Nice.
critical, critical on the cleric. Lay on hands. There is a -2 penalty, but I think that will wash out, so it would be 20 automatically. And I think that might be able to cure your poison. Is that correct?
I have to look that up. Uh,
Let's see. I have to look it up as well.
Yeah, it's
20 is going to be 4 hit dice worth of healing. And I think that pretty much cures everything. So there is a chart underneath the cleric healing table for like broken limbs, curing poison, punctured lungs, and stuff like that.
yeah, poison is 3
And
dice.
3 dice.
so this will definitely cure the poison. You won't gain any health back, but you have stopped and cured the poison.
Ugh.
Phew.
So Quarrel, you and Barclay immediately look at where he got bit on the. I think he got bit on the thigh, maybe. But the puncture wounds in his leg immediately begin to clear up. It looks like soft, clean, healthy, pinkish flesh again, and color immediately returns to his face.
Hey, it looks like maybe Carpes is not done with you after all, huh?
She just wants to kill me slowly, I think. So I'll take over watch. Why don't you get sleep? I'll watch things from now on.
Good.
All right. Through the second watch, nothing happens. Uh, who is going to happen the third watch?
The Siege will take third watch.
During the third watch, it's pretty quiet. You're not sure if it's because you've been traumatized before, Lou, but you're almost positive that you hear the scraping out from the door to the north, and you can't help but thinking there's more rats out there. Just rats
There's
everywhere.
rats in the walls. There's rats in the walls. Um,
Scraping and the gnawing. You
Try to take
staring
my mind
intently at the
off that.
door. Yeah, staring intently at the door. Nothing ever punctures through or chews its way through, but you can't help but thinking you keep hearing it.
Could I, to take my mind off that a little bit? Could I use my thieves' tools to take another try at that locked conical flask that we found?
You can.
All right. Let's
Let's
see.
see here.
Class abilities. Pick locks.
The locked conical flask. Do you remember where you found that?
We found it in the first rat room, the junk room off the side of the cells there. It doesn't matter. I got a critical fail.
All right. So I think you've already failed once and broken some of your thieves' tools, if I'm not mistaken. Well, you broke the thieves'
Yeah.
tools that you guys had found, right?
Yeah.
I, yeah, I think at some point I've gone through a set at least.
I'm thinking now that you've maybe only got like one thieves tool left out of this little packet here. You keep snapping and breaking them. One more failure, and you're gonna have to buy all new tools. You won't be able to unlock any doors until then.
All right. Noting it now.
All right. So the third watch goes by without anything much happening, and you guys wake up. Disapproval has been reset, although your disapproval penalties have not. And you guys each gain 1 hit point. Um, for sleeping in the bed, oracally, you gain 3 hit points. With the blanket and the golden headrest, it was very
Guess I should have let
comfortable.
Barkley sleep in the bed.
Uh,
I was already asleep.
so Daphne and Barclay, I think you guys are going to go up 1 HP, and everyone would regain 2 luck. Well, Vasici and Oracly would regain 2 luck, or your level in luck, whatever your level
Yeah.
is.
What about a
Mm.
spell burn?
Spellburn would replenish
Okay.
1 point. 1 point from your chosen stat. So I think we have Barclay at 3 hit points and Daphne at 5. Is that right?
Reed's right for Barkley.
And Coral, your new HP is 11, correct?
That's correct.
Daphne regained 1 point of agility. She's now back up to 5 agility.
Woo.
9 more points to go.
So we're still not doing great, is what I'm hearing.
You slept for about 8 hours. It's the middle of the night, so you guys have slept. It was 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's now 10 p.m. Of that night. You were exhausted. You've been pushing the limits, but it's early evening now. What do you guys want to do?
So Daphne thinks that we are in kind of dire straits, and we've been in it pretty heavily. We really need to get out of this in the most direct possible way. We need to lift whatever curse and get out of this marsh in the most direct fashion possible. She has no idea how to do so. I think the wooden shaft through the tiers is still something that needs to be explored, but that's all she can think of.
We
I
also should. Sorry, go ahead,
I
Sarah.
was just gonna say I feel pretty convinced that pouring this water will at least neutralize her lackeys, if not her, according to the book, which I think will help a great deal in our fight against her. Um,
Yeah, I believe we had discussed before dousing ourselves fully in water before going in. I don't know whether that's going to repel her attacks, but it might.
And
I
didn't we
think
have
it's
like
more
a
about
blanket or a
cleansing them,
tarp that we
though.
were gonna do that with too, and like shroud somebody in it?
Say that again, Lou.
Didn't we talk about wasn't there a blanket or a carpet that we were going to douse, like submerge in the pool and then wrap somebody in it and have them like go in there with the crossbow or whatever we're using, try to hit
I
the
think that
tier.
came up. Yeah.
I think you guys had talked about dousing this sheet right here that was blocking the wall, covering that with water, and we determined that it was as big as the entire
Too
wall,
big.
and once you get it wet, it's going to weigh at least 400 to 800 pounds, soaking wet.
Does anyone
Of
have a
course,
blanket?
you could cut it into smaller
I have a
pieces.
blanket. I actually have a blanket in my inventory.
There you go.
So we could. Barclay could cast Holy Sanctuary on Orkley, who's the one who's got the crossbow, um, to give a little protection. And I think, as Sarah was saying, I think the the idea is to use the water and pour it into their eyes and onto them, and not
Hmm.
like, I think that's what was in the book, right? The water is a cleansing process. It is part of a cleansing process before a ceremony that seemed to go terribly wrong.
Yeah.
It might protect us, but I think it's more about getting it on them, and dousing them with it.
Yeah.
No, they stood up and came after us last time, right?
Without their heads.
Okay, yeah.
We might need to find the head that was chopped off, put it back on the table, and put water on that one too, right? Because that's the one that was on the table that we think the ghost might be coming out of.
Right. Yeah, to stop her.
Yeah.
Was that head in the room?
Yeah,
don't
they
think
locked it off.
Oh yeah, that was part of the whole scene, right?
Last time you saw that head, it had rolled off the table. Agnar, I believe, chopped it off the body, and it was rolling across the floor.
Right. Right.
I'm looking at the loot now. We also have a crescent moon holy symbol, which seems like maybe somebody could brandish that because that's the goddess that they don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we found several of those, didn't we? Or just one?
And you just found the one in this room so far.
Well, and Shul is a lawful, like the moon god is lawful. What's Carpes is lawful, right?
Mhm.
So I'm sure she wouldn't mind if you held that. Different god, but same alignment.
So there's before we make a lot of assumptions about what that god may or may not mind at this point, Mark is still pretty big in the hole for that, right? So
Yeah, but I'm thinking we want to protect Barclay though, because Shul is the good guy here in this story.
Barkley, if you'd rather someone else wield it, Daphne will brandish it for whatever good it will do.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't. I mean, Carpessa's already pretty pissed. I mean, how much matter can I make her? I think it's fine. I think they're friends. I think Carpessa and Shoal kind of know each other. So I think it'll be okay, but
And disapproval's reset, so you're good.
So
I
there's
am
two
still
names for this
disowned though.
god,
I've
and
still been disowned by
Right,
by my
right.
god.
So
there's
before we go ahead.
just real quick. There's two names for the moon god, right? There's like Kayaset and then Shol.
Correct.
Okay.
The moon god Shoal, Kayaset is kind of a human female manifestation of the moon god Shoal. So they're
Okay.
one and the same.
Before we head up to do this, I'd like to crawl through this little hole here and just check out this room since we're here.
Yeah, the other thing, just a reminder too, is we learned that there seemed to be some betrayal that happened to uh, that Segovas and the Segovites.
Right.
They broke a treaty, and there's some treason going on that happened, and that's involved in all of this stuff going here. Not that it changes our plans, but I think that's what threw everything wild.
Very true. Very true. So this is a very small passage, Coral. Approximately 2 feet high, 2 feet wide. It kind of it lengthens out to about 3 feet after about 10 feet down. So you still have to crouch. Only a halfling and a dwarf could probably stand near the end of the corridor. But after about 20 feet, it comes out into a 15-foot square room. Against the back wall of the chamber rests a small pile of gold coins and gems spilling out of a broken chest. A nauseating corpse stench rises from a man's decaying body draped over the gold. His hands appear covered in burns, and a dagger penetrates his neck, and his longsword is noticeably still sheathed. Thieves' tools litter the floor, which might be
Pardon
great for
me.
which might be great for Visici because he just busted his.
Who was it that can smell gold? Is it Agnar?
Yeah.
It is Agnar, who is unfortunately still sleeping.
Okay.
Can he confirm this is real gold at least though, or
Right,
that at
that's what I
least it
was
smells
wondering.
gold?
Yeah. I'll crawl back up and tell you all about it. And like, it looks a little bit too good to be true. I don't think I want to touch any of it.
Too good to be true. There was a skeleton there.
Well, and how did he get skeletonized?
You guys want me to crawl in and do my search for traps? I mean, I think we know it's a trap, but
You might as well. And there's tools there if you want them. I noticed yours are a
Uh,
little raggedy.
Without Agnar being here, he would not be able to tell you if it actually smelled like gold or not.
I don't trust it. If you all want to take your chances,
Are you
I
gonna
learned my
check it
lesson
out,
about touching
Basichi?
stuff.
yeah, he's gonna go crawling down there, take a look. Let's see. So I think first, gonna take it all in and look for traps.
All right, give me a find traps roll, please.
Good.
21.
You do not find any traps. It appears to be a kind of a upturned treasure chest with gold spilling out, with a skeletal body laying over it. Oh, hold up. I think I have a handout. Hold on a second. Let's see here. Sure, I had a handout. I do. Here it is. Showing you guys a handout right now.
Nice.
yeah, no doubt he just had some kind of a cardiac incident.
Scratching his
Well,
neck with his dagger and then
Right, it
had a
happened
heart
for
attack,
a
killed
long
himself.
time.
the question is, whoever stabbed him, why didn't they take the gold?
I wanna
Where are they?
line my eyes up with this crack in this chest, and then I want to kind of turn backwards and see like, is there a slot in the ceiling or something that might have came out of? Some like axe or something that made that indent.
Give me an intelligence check. As you're estimating the crack in the chest, looking for a slot in the ceiling or something that might have sprung up from the floor, you don't see anything that would denote that a blade came out of the stone.
Alright.
Um, just can't find anything that would leave that kind of mark in the chest.
Well, still, I mean, this just, I mean, even an idiot would know that we got some sort of death trap that's either been sprung or is ongoing. So I'm gonna use my my staff, and I'm gonna start by just like poking the dead body and seeing if I can kind of push it off the top of the chest.
You crawl a little bit closer, and as you do so, you get to where the dead body is, and you feel yourself passing through kind of a electrically charged field as you're going forth. And as you pass this certain point and you're about to poke with your staff, the image of the treasure chest fades in front of your eyes. And you can see that the skeleton is actually resting on a statue of a crawling babe. Engraved beneath, so let's see here. Statue of a crawling baby. Look, so the thief is actually draped over the statue of a crawling baby who is looking up at a crescent moon engraved on the ceiling. Engraved beneath the moon are runes written in an old dialect of Common.
Uh, Read them to myself.
Give me an intelligence check.
I knew you'd say that.
Uh, so the rest of the group, the CG has kind of disappeared for a while. I'm gonna send you a message from Roll 20, Lou. What are you guys doing in there?
I'm twiddling my thumbs and waiting to see whether he comes back alive or not.
Yeah, we're all kind of. I,
It's
I imagine I'm huddled around the opening and listening.
it's been about 5-10 minutes, and he has not come back yet.
Beseechy, what do you see?
Give me 1 second, guys. Let's see.
Does anybody want to do
The treasure
anything
chest.
during
It
this
is
time?
all an illusion. There's a statue that seems to be worshiping that moon god, and there's writing here. It's old, but I'm pretty sure that it says, "We must all be babes in the face of Chaosit."
More riddles.
Should I try to move the statue or leave it be? I'm thinking I should leave it be, eh?
Yeah, it seems like this was some kind of a priest chamber, and maybe this thing was set up to foil any would-be thieves. It looks like it worked.
Now, even though the treasure isn't real, and you've seen that it has become a statue of a crawling babe staring up at the ceiling, you can see that the dagger in the thief's neck, the tools on the ground, the longsword, and the armor that the thief are wearing are still very real and appear to be in good repair.
Right. I will move the longsword and the thieves' tools out of here behind me, and I'll come back in a moment for the body of the guy and the dagger.
Okay.
So,
So what do you're taking the longsword and the thieves' tools and moving
yeah,
them where the other group is?
yeah, I'll bring them back down the tunnel there. I'll give them a more in-depth description of what I saw, and
Give
then
me a give me a reflex save, please.
sorry, 14.
That
You know
is
what?
pretty good.
Okay.
And 14 is enough. As you go back to step, something shocks you backwards. Luckily, you're quick enough not to take any damage from it. But you feel kind of an electrical field locking you in here. Now, perhaps you're getting a picture of why the thief may have resorted to stabbing himself, because it appears that you are trapped in this little 10 by 15-foot room.
And I was when I was leaving, was I crawling or was I standing up or?
I assumed you were standing up because you said you had gathered the things
Okay.
and you were heading back to the other way.
I will try it one more time, but I want to try it on my hands and knees, crawling like the statue's position.
Sneaky, beseechy. Crawling like a babe,
Smart.
you crawl right through this electrical field that was previously blocking your attempts, and you pass through the force
Amazing.
without any electrical damage.
Love it. Well done.
Do you guys want me to get that body and the knife, or should we just leave it? Or I don't even know. Is the statue small enough I could try to move it? I mean, that's probably a dumb idea, but
The
Kinda,
statue is huge.
okay.
I think we could probably use all resources you can easily get.
yeah. What kind of armor is it?
It was leather
Chain?
armor. So the
Leather. Okay.
crawling statue was built into the floor. And it's not huge, but it's as big as the man himself. You know, it's like a big life-size, man-sized statue of a giant baby.
Okay. So I'll go back in and I'll use my rope and kind of loop it around the corpse there and try to pull him and his whatever sticks with him down the way there, crawling backwards to where they're at.
As you're crawling, as you're kind of scooping and pulling, you do see a small rolled up piece of parchment kind of fall to the ground out from the bones of his hands as you clatter his body along the ground, and his bones kind of fall apart. But you gather the leather armor quite easily.
Okay. We'll take the parchment there too.
You're going to have to go back into the field to get the parchment, Lou.
All right. Why not?
You know the way out. Be
One
fine.
hopes.
So you go back, grab the parchment. You already know the way out. Um, Unscrolling the parchment, it appears to have some brief instructions on it, written in modern common. It reads, "You'll need to crawl through some kind of opening to reach the treasure. The bark scale should be there. Bring it back for appraisal." And the letter is signed with a drawing of a longsword and a dagger forming a cross.
Make any sense to anyone else? Is the symbol familiar to any of you guys?
Is it?
Uh, no, is it? Is anybody a merchant?
I'm sort of a merchant.
You are a jeweler. You can make me an intelligence check to see if you recognize it.
Does that word bark scale mean anything to anybody?
If you would like to make an intelligence check to see if you guys know what bark scale means, you could. Lou, you do not recognize the symbol. Oof.
That was surprising.
And Oracly, what were you trying to determine?
If I recognize bark scale as well in my run-ins as a vagrant over the years, perhaps
Okay.
stealing from merchants
Uh,
who may deal in it.
let's see here. Let's see. Hold on one second. Let me find it. So what are you guys doing when you get back there? You have heard of bark scale, and I'm going to give you a little bit, but I have to find it here real quick. So, what do you guys want to do until then?
I want to go ahead and cut up this tapestry into sort of cape-sized pieces that we can all use to kind of drape around ourselves once they're covered in water.
Easily done. There is enough for a good 10 to 12 cape-sized pieces. Probably more than that.
Barclay will be reading those extra handwritten notes that were in the book around the
All right.
ritual.
You study the other notes. Daphne, are you gonna do anything? Vasici?
I'll start helping them transport those capes down to the pool there.
If Barclay wouldn't mind another set of eyes, Daphne would like to look at the notes as well.
All right. Oracly, you recall hearing about a tree bark that once it was fired and tempered, um, that you probably heard this story from a smith. You know, the smith and Fallon, perhaps one night of drinking and telling stories.
Hmm.
But the bark can turn so hard that it can act like metal, but it provides a much lighter weight than the metal itself would. It also provides it's also easier to be enchanted because of the wood being more of a porous material than the metal. So you do know that bark scale armor. Of course, the uh, the process has been lost to history.
Right.
So the Smiths say, but clever Smith might be able to reverse engineer that method.
Right. Yeah, Oracly would relay that in kind of like an exciting way, like, oh, like I've heard about this bark scale. It does this and this. If there's some here, it would be really helpful. We should try and find it.
Looking through the notes of the book, you guys find several other handwritten notes. The first one being that It mentions Nawiha, a daughter who lives on the island. So this journal is this book you believe is Etienne's book, um, and it mentions Nawiha, a daughter, her daughter, who lives on the island. Do you guys recall who Nawiha it was?
That's the lady in that hut, the one that's
Correct.
all yeah.
A
And
few chapters in.
Etienne was mentioned in the that scene in the room above us with those two people.
Very true. A few chapters later, it discussed the cost of breaking an oath that has been made at the swearing stone. That once an oath is made at the swearing stone, if you break that oath, it will bring upon the anger of the gods. A little further in, there are questions on various beliefs written into the margin. Why should suicide be forbidden if it serves a greater good? Is sacrificing myself not enough to save my people? A couple little questions like that. And then further in, it talks about worries that the Segovites are winning the war and killing off Etienne's people, that she doesn't know what else to do, and she's lost all hope on her people surviving. She talks about sacrificing herself on the next blood moon, believing that it will save them. And now, Daphne and Barclay, if you could make me a luck check. Is that below your current luck mark?
No, it is not.
Daphne? Luck check?
No, 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 no.
All right. That is all the information you guys can glean from the book at this time.
And do we think those notes were written by Etienne? That Etienne was writing these notes.
You do believe that.
And it's nothing where there's a language barrier or anything else like that. It's we're not gleaning something from it, possibly.
You mean the luck check that I made you roll?
Yes.
That is all you can determine at this time. Um, Everything else in the book seems to like require a little bit more study. It's more about rituals, procedures, tests of faith.
Let me
I
make
mean,
sure.
you
Daphne
can
took
spend time studying it if you want.
Daphne took electives in kobold and gnome apparently in beekeeping school. So I wanted to see if that would come into play, but I guess not for now.
No, that would have no
Well, you knew about
application in this
Segova
instance.
through your bees.
It's true. It's true.
I'll bet Nahui could help us understand some of what's in this book.
I wonder if she's the one who broke the oath at the swearing stone. That if
Didn't we hear about the betrayal of King Segava though? Was he not the betrayer?
yeah,
Maybe
he
I'm quite
was
wrong.
he
Yeah.
was the betrayer.
So we can go over that real quick. The kind of image you guys saw during your last session in the room, a couple rooms to the north, just for the rest of the group. Two figures speaking common, but their accent was unfamiliar. Their words were very archaic. They said, "Why is Moon Etienne so long in her silence? Her guidance is needed." And then the next one said, "Patience. Our problems are pebbles amongst the stones that she carries." Oh, what have thine ears heard? Do ye not know of Segava's betrayal? The blood of war with the Segavites will soon flow. And then the specters faded from view.
So it's Segevite that broke the oath at the swearing stone then?
Undetermined. I don't know.
Seems reasonable to assume, right? And
Yeah.
then the outcome of that was this corrupting ooze all over everything.
Well, in the war too, like that somehow fits in all this battle we keep hearing when we're up on top of this structure.
It sounds like the body that's in the room that has, that we cut the head off of. That's probably Etienne sacrificing herself.
Well, yeah, because of the whole the suicide thing there. Yeah.
Right. But then
So
how did it get corrupted?
yeah,
Well, I mean that was her thing. Is that it sounded like the religion that was a taboo move to make, but she thought maybe it was the right move.
Mm, right.
All right. So what is the plan?
well, does I mean, did you not? Did you see the Vesici? Did you see like behind the statue? Was there anything that looked like bark skin or
Yeah,
anything?
we can go in there one more time, sure. Crawl in. We'll check around the statue there.
You did not see anything else after you pulled the skeletal remains out. Acquired his belongings. There is nothing else except for the statue of the baby staring up at the moon.
What seems to be the purpose of this room in my mind here? I mean, is this just like a little chapel or something?
It could be.
Hmm.
I want to follow him in there and crawl in and kind of use my elf senses if I can. I'm kind of like, this is a decoy treasure chamber, and you don't build a decoy treasure chamber unless you've got a real one around here somewhere.
Entering through, you give me a will save, first of all, because even though you've been told that it is not a real treasure chest, you haven't really seen it for yourself. And as you come in, you still see the treasure chest on the wall in front of you. Uh, do you
I
want to
got
stay
eight.
in an 8? Yeah,
Um,
Visici has told you that it's not a real treasure chest, but you haven't really crossed the threshold, and you still see a real treasure chest right there.
I'll spend a point of luck to go up to a 9, but that's about all the luck I can afford right now.
A 9 is not good enough. So you still see a regular treasure chest. So what I'm saying is you can still check for secret doors, but when you come to this point right here, you still see what you saw
Okay.
originally, a busted open treasure chest.
What's all this about a babe? I don't see a babe. This looks like a treasure chest.
And
Come forward just a bit, but stay low.
as soon as you cross the threshold of that kind of field right there, 5 feet beyond, then you do, of course, see the statue of the babe. You feel kind of a little electrical pulse of energy, and give me a secret door check.
Uh, it's under class. 18.
18. You do not find any other secret doors, but give me 4 other secret door checks that I will use for your next 4 rolls. And Wasichi, if you could give me give me 4 fine trap rolls, please. Damn, Coral,
Those
those
are
are
good
outstanding.
rolls, Coral.
They're here. I'll find them.
That's
Can I
true.
just give you 5 disapproval rolls so that you have those ready too?
Perfect. All right. So you do not find any other secret doors in this area.
Anything special about the moon that the babe is looking at? Um,
Yeah, on the ceiling.
I try and poke it with my 10-foot pole.
It is made out of stone. It is very firmly engraved into the ceiling itself. It is. There's nothing special about it.
Okay. Well, I can't be right all the time. I guess I don't know. They outsmarted us. I'll crawl back out.
Follow him.
Well, it could be that if we follow the corridor to the far north or something like that, that could be the real treasure room if we assume that this is a decoy.
I think we've been to the north, right? That's where we were at previously, where all the evil stuff is. Am I wrong?
No, I
Uh,
think you're right. That hooks back around
Yeah,
to
it
the other
hooks back
hallway.
around.
Right?
you've been to the north center. You have not gone through that door. Whoever is red is pinging.
Yeah, that's me. I don't think we've gone through this door right here.
Yeah.
And there wasn't anything special about the moon. It was a crescent moon, though, and the dialect was an old form of common. But besides
Did anyone
that,
successfully read the stuff on the ceiling?
uh, Vasici did read the stuff on the ceiling. If you want to try to read it as well, give me an intelligence check.
How how tall is the ceiling in that room that they were in?
Approximately 10 feet. You know that the writing on the ceiling says, "We must all be babes in the face of Kyasit."
Well, Beseech was exactly right. That's what he said. It said. Well, do we go north then and see if this joins up with where we were at before? Or...
It makes sense to me.
Suddenly, Daphne, you get a mental alert in your mind.
Is my cunning alarm detecting that a party member has opened the door
The door has been breached.
by Vasici?
I believe by Vasici. Vasici has stepped through the door.
Oops.
That was
It
one
worked.
thing we forgot to tell you, Lou, that Daphne had cast Ward Portal, but I think you guys were headed that way anyway. So, what
Yeah.
is the next?
So, so Daphne supports going through this door if we're not going to go back, waterboard the statue with the holy water, and then try to engage the supernatural protector of the tomb.
All right, so checking this door first, I believe.
Yeah.
Do you want to do anything or just open it, Lou?
I'm gonna do a find traps roll. So
All right.
that's a 1d4, right?
Yeah, roll me a 1d4.
Second here.
And for all the viewers out there, we have our elves and our thieves roll these 4 or 5 rolls beforehand, so that way they can just roll a 1d4. They're still rolling the dice, but it still leaves a little mystery as to what they got. What'd you get, Lou?
Result of 2.
A 2. And so I randomly assign their rolls to one of the numbers that they have rolled previously. You do not find any traps on that door. And I
I'll try
assume
the
you
door.
open it?
Yeah.
It opens easily beneath your hands. And I am not going to polygon reveal this one because it is too many shapes. Just going to get the full picture. The room opens into a chamber that is shaped like a tear-shaped 8-pointed star. Very similar to the building's exterior that you approached
Mm.
up above. Rotted cushions lie on the floor in the room's center, along with a tarnished silver amulet of a catfish with large whiskers.
Get to the edge of the hall and I'll do another find traps roll.
All right, give me a 1d3 roll.
Oops. Three.
You find no further traps in the center of the room. Just some moth-eaten cushions and this fish amulet.
Oh, I hate to be catfished.
What about everyone else?
Yeah, I'll head in there. Kind of take a
I want to
look.
get to
These
the
are
edge
all
here and look.
dead ends.
Yeah, looking in these alcoves here.
At the end of each of the alcoves appears to be kind of a simple, a kneeling kind of stand, uh, where someone could kneel in prayer or meditation. Um, and so that is at each one of the 7 endpoints of the chambers. More of the cushions in the middle are kind of laid out into a circle where more people could sit and meditate if they chose to do so. But other than that, you don't find anything strange.
We will see that amulet, but he's not going to pick it up. He'll just point it out. There's another thing.
So the cushions that are on the floor, they're around the center.
There are a circular pattern of cushions in the middle of the room.
Are these cushions appropriate to um, something a adult would sit on while sitting on the floor? Or are they appropriate to
Yes.
something? Okay. So they're not appropriate to something you would lay a infant on.
No.
Okay.
Are there any like more imagery here of the moon god?
Strangely, there is not any imagery here of the moon god
Hmm.
or moons in general, for that matter. Only the catfish amulet.
Odd to
What
have
did
a
you
place
say?
of worship with no imagery of who you're praying to.
Was that a question, Sarah?
More of a statement
Okay.
pointing that out.
Barclay, do you have any thoughts?
Uh, Barclay's walking into this room, trying to see if he remembers seeing this shape in the book that he's been reading the notes on.
So this shape is the shape of the temple in the swamp. This is
Yeah.
a reproduction of the exact shape of the temple.
Yeah, the one
Yeah.
we're in.
Yeah. So he's wondering if that shape was drawn anywhere in the book that he was reading. Um,
Not that you noticed.
Is there a connection between the shape and the phases of the moon, do you think? You'd have like new moon, full moon, and then you'd have like crescent, crescent, half, well, quarter, quarter, and then gibbous, gibbous.
Maybe.
Well, it is 9:30, so while you guys contemplate on what is going on in this room, and everybody look at Lou's camera. It's like he's having a rave party over there. His Lou, your screen is like flashing a strobe light on you.
Oh, this is weird. My,
Not for me.
Yeah, I'm not
I was
seeing
gonna
it.
say, I'm not
Really
seeing it on my
Really?
strange.
end.
It's just doing it for me.
While we're
Anyway,
talking about screen things, is everybody else having a hard time hearing Cyrus?
No?
I was not, but maybe
Okay.
we should all kind of refresh as we go to break. We're going to go to break, everyone. We'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. If you would like to start entering any emoji into the chat to be entered into our drawing for a $25 gift certificate to the Goodman Game Store, Please enter any emoji into chat now, and we'll see you guys in about 8 or 9 minutes.
Well, Oracly will pick up the amulet if nobody else is,
9.
and take a look at that.
It is a very large catfish with very long whiskers. The amulet appears to be made of tarnished silver. It looks like it could be worth, a few silver pieces. Um, uh, it's about all you can tell from
All right, I'll put it in his
initial
pocket.
inspection. All right, done. All right, what else?
Uh, Barclay will go down into the corner he's at, um, and kneel on the kneeling thing, and
Okay.
he'll take out his prayer beads and his thing, and he'll say a prayer to Carpessa. Like, I know you aren't listening now, but we hope to get out of here and change this place, and could use your guidance. And then I'll put on the crescent moon, the half moon, and then say, and Shell, if you can hear me too, uh, we we're here to make things right. If you can give us guidance, we want to right what's been wrong and make this land uh, back to what it should be and restore this temple. I'll just
Interesting. Very interesting. Um, roll roll second sight on a D24. Roll second sight on a D24.
second, do second sight, change it to a D24. Oh, I rolled a
Nice.
24.
Wow.
All
Actually, I
right.
rolled a 22 plus 2. I also have a -2 right now, so that
So
would
it's
be
actually a
22.
22.
22.
So roll the 1d3 to see how this manifests as you cast it. So I mean, Barclay is facing the wall, so you guys wouldn't see it. But he's meditating, murmuring in prayer. You guys can kind of hear a little bit of mumbling over there, and all of a sudden, a very bright kind of greenish glow, but almost like a yellowish, moonish kind of greenish glow begins radiating from that area. You're not really sure where it's coming from, but Barclay, you know it's because your eyes are glowing crazily. And what is the result of a 22?
Ooh, 22. Cleric. Second sight, 22. Hint of possible income outcomes in the next 30 minutes, 85% probability.
All right, so give me a question on what kind of guidance you're looking for. You've asked for guidance, you've petitioned the gods to help you. Um, in what respect do you want them to help you? What kind of clue are you looking for?
Um, how the clue I'm looking for is how to remove the curse.
You get an image of the clear blue glowing waters in the pool room. You have the image of alkalites preparing themselves by bathing in the waters, but they respectfully remove all their clothing before entering the pool. And then you get the image of a woman that looks very much like the sacrificed body on the table, right? That you guys have fought before that you could do no damage to. Um, Sacrificially cutting her stomach open. in some type of ritual. The blood moon flashes overhead, and then the last image you get is pouring the glowing blue liquid on the faces of the alkalites, and then nothing. Now, whether this information is accurate or not, you do not know. But there is an 85% chance that it is.
Yeah. So I will finish my meditation there, and I will thank the gods, Shul, for providing me guidance. Thank both Carpessa and Shul, um, and finish some meditation there, and then go out to the rest and say, I've seen a vision and received some guidance from the gods themselves. That that blue liquid, the water, we were right. It should be poured on the faces of those acolytes that are in there. That there is something that went wrong, and pouring the liquid on their face perhaps will make it right again. We should not bathe in. We should not go into the water and for ourselves for with our clothes on. It's meant there to cleanse before a ceremony.
Mm.
So I would say to them, like, the idea of let's douse all these like
Hmm.
stuff in there and throw it on it. Like, let's not do that. That's not what it's for.
Well, Shul says no. Shul should know.
Yeah. But that blue liquid, the blue water, I think we need to cleanse the acolytes of what has gone wrong.
Well, I've got my water skin filled,
We
and
have
I
the
think
big
we,
silver jug.
yeah, fill out the big jug too. Let's do it.
You have not filled up the big silver jug yet, I don't believe. You have it, but you guys,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think you filled it up.
We will do that though before
All
going
right.
in.
So are you guys done in this room? Is everybody done?
I want to take a quick walk around it, just feeling the edges of the wall, see if there's anything weird. I was
All
hoping for a
right.
mirror image of the other part, but
Do we
something
know
about
what phase the moon's in currently?
the moon phase.
It is. Oh, Lou, you were asking me all kinds of
If you
tough
don't know, then
questions.
it probably doesn't
Advanced.
matter for
It is. The last day was the day of the Falcon. Let's see here. Let's look at our map. So let's
We should
see.
be in
You
Falcons
are
and
Surge.
in.
gibbous, so yeah.
You're in the next month that I don't think I have added yet.
So like about every 4, so that would have been crescent. So
But you're in the first week of the next month. Let's
oh,
see, the
okay.
bloom, I
Oh,
believe
back
is
to
what it
new
is.
moon then. Hmm.
So this is going to be the new calendar, but I do not have the individual notes on it yet.
Well, I would have tried to remember what phase the moon was in, and then given the directions of the east and west, I would have tried to on and examined or knelt at the altar for whatever position that would have been from Earth.
Without me calculating it out, you're probably between the second and the third days of the bloom.
Okay. At any rate, it sounds like it would be fruitless what I was going to do, but that was my thought. Is this something to do with the moon? So
Good
Well, I think
intention, good
in game
intention.
it's the blood moon, right? Is what rose and why we're here in the first place.
This is true. So the blood moon is risen in the sky. It was when you entered the fen, and it was in full blast. Now, whether that moon is the same moon
Yeah.
or a different moon entirely is still to be determined.
mm.
But you go to probably the new one. Would you think that would be at the very north, kneel and pray? And Coral, roll me a d4 while you're running around searching. You do not find any secret doors or any secret locations.
No secrets, but something about this labyrinth reminds me of the babe.
Babe with the power.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, like we are going to walk into the room carrying water and get attacked. Like, do we want to designate some people as focus on using the water versus other
Yeah, we
people
should
focus on?
strategize.
So do you guys want to go back down to the main pool room first?
Mhm.
Yep.
You're in that room. You fill up your water skins again. You fill up the brazier. What else, if anything, are you going to be doing in there?
The Sichi is like just completely like you know with no whims about anyone seeing, just completely disrobing, and his old frail old man stuff is just hanging there, and he's just going into the pool.
I'm not
The
sure if we
water's
needed that
full.
bit. I'm not sure if that visual was needed, but we've definitely
Perfect.
got it. All right, done. You don't feel any different. The water's very cold and refreshing. But yeah, you have doused yourself in the waters.
Can Barclay cure blindness?
Yes, with enough hit dice.
With enough high enough roll, yeah.
Lou
Nice.
gets my humor. Lou gets my humor. Thank you, Lou. All right, we got our super soakers loaded.
Yeah, uh, so I have a crossbow, so I think my goal is to fire some bolts into the eyes of the wall, right? The statue on the wall.
Yep.
Into the tiers, right?
Into the tiers, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. We also have to, we can use the water on the acolytes, but we also should probably find the head on the floor
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
douse water into its eyes.
yeah, I'd probably prioritize that head first, but then also like any other body that you pass, give it a douse in the eyes.
Yeah. Now
Now,
I
last
can,
time we had some troubles with like getting in the door because of the hits we were taking. So I don't know, maybe who should go in first. I think it would be good to kind of. We probably do want to stick together as a group, but we also want to get in the room because we want to be able to move around, right?
Yeah, I'm willing to head in first and grab the head and try and reconnect it because I think that'll probably draw some fire. Like whoever's holding the jug should probably be one of the less healthy party members, probably, so we can kind of protect them as they move around because they're not going to be able to fight for themselves anyway if they're holding the thing.
Right.
So,
um, I can cast Holy Sanctuary, which will
Oh, right. Yeah.
compel the enemies to like focus on others. And I can compel, if I roll high enough, um, I think I can do it on others, right? I can cast this on others.
What
Don't
level
forget
is
to
it?
use that moon holy symbol. I think we got
I
a
think,
fighting shot of at least some of us living through this.
yeah. So I think if we designate, if the people that we want to be dousing the water and try and get them with Holy Sanctuary so that they can move around without being attacked and do things.
Hmm.
So I think like Oracly with the arrow might be good to do that on, so that they're not coming after you, they're focusing on others. Um, I just don't have much luck to burn against it, so
I've got a
Yeah,
couple
you
I can
need
throw your way,
25 or 24. I mean,
but I might also want to keep it for my shots.
yeah, 24 cleric can create holy sanctuary that includes himself and up to 2 other allies within 5 feet. That's at a 24. That's a pretty high roll. So,
Would
um,
would it all be worthwhile for me to do animal summoning and try to get some chimpanzees or something to try to carry a couple flasks for us? I'm being serious here.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
no,
All right, Matt, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna cross my fingers on a animal summoning.
Wait, do we want to
Okay.
actually get in position kind of near the actual place before you do this, or
You
do
go
we
to
want
the
to?
Well,
doors.
the animals are around for up to an hour, even at the lowest result.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, are we going to push go on this? Are we?
I think we should.
The only
Okay.
other thing I was gonna suggest is maybe if Barclay maybe want to heal first again.
Well,
yeah, I could try healing myself first.
Disapproval is reset, but not your penalties.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So I have a -2 on casting. That's a good. So let me just see if I can heal myself up. Uh,
So let's see. You have let's see here.
Did we do anything with that longsword that I drew back?
Carrying it, but
Anybody
nobody's.
examine it? Is it have any significance to us?
that should be a 15, not a 17.
Still not bad.
Uh, that's still 3. Yeah, it's still 3 die.
Nice.
so I'm gonna give you a animal summoning roll too.
That's it. All right, so it was about 10 p.m. before you guys started checking into the cushion room there. After you examine the cushion room, pray a little bit, go prepare your flasks and waters. It is about 11:30. Only 30 minutes left until the day would reset. The reason I bring this up is because at midnight, then Barclay will be able to gain experience points once more. So if you wanted to say, hey, we're going to wait at least 30 more minutes before we enact our final plan. Otherwise, just for metagaming's sake, you would not gain the XP from this
I,
last encounter.
I'm not gonna worry about XP
All right. I just wanted to bring
because
it up.
Long
I'm
term, I think we can wait half an hour. If the only thing we're worried about is my spell duration, I say we give him half an hour. Then I still have the spell duration for the fight.
All right.
Yep.
Sure.
All right. So an egg pops into existence and hatches into what would you like, Cirrus?
Um. So tell me about smaller monkeys. One hit dice or two hit dice creatures. What do you think? 'Cause I can get one animal of two hit dice or two animals of one hit dice.
Two animals of one hit dice would probably be two. Uh, I'm gonna say probably a pretty decent sized monkey, not one of those little small monkeys. Not as big as an orangutan. An orangutan might be one hit dice, but somewhere between a little monkey that jumps on your shoulder and an orangutan, whatever size monkey that is.
Because I want to give at least each of these monkeys one of the flasks that we have about the party. I'm going to ask people to donate flasks. I assume we have a couple extra, right? Is that correct?
Flasks.
we had extra
Flasks
water
donate
skins, I think. If
or
I
water
remember right.
skins? Or
Yeah.
I'm distracted thinking about how Daphne knows what a monkey is.
well, you
I'm
see, in
just
beekeeping.
I'm just really impressed that you're branching out. You went from, chickens to horses and now into monkeys. It's just like, yeah,
I
it's
want something that can throw something and move around and manipulate things.
Yeah.
So that's my criteria.
Good choice. I
Do we
just have
have a
one
water?
water skin, which is I'm keeping.
Then
I have two water skins that are full of holy water, but no flasks.
I don't have anything. I mean, I have the locked flask, but other than that,
So I assume we're doing all this prep work right there next to the puddle. Um, I
Well,
have two flasks of oil I can dump out, not in the water. But I can fill them with water and give those flasks to the monkeys.
All right, so I'm gonna say two adolescent baboons. Baboons are like medium-sized marsupials. So two adolescent baboons.
We'll name them the first two names typed into the chat. If anybody wants to give me names to heckle grape with all night, type them in.
Speaking of chat, thank you for the reminder. Last chance to enter the drawing, free $25 gift card from the Goodman Games Store. Put any emote into chat right now. We're going to draw it in the next 60 seconds. All right, so you have two monkey tokens that to be determined on their names. Has everyone filled up and prepared everything they would like to prepare?
I'm gonna cast Blessing on
Okay.
myself, and I will point out that the monkeys have names: Harpo and Chico.
Harpo and Chico. Very nice.
love it.
All right, let me get the Blessing. Blessing.
Oh, roll 20. For shame, there's no monkey tokens under familiar.
They knew monkeys are OP.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
nice.
Um, that I still have a -2,
That'll
so
just
I just
negate.
I'm
Yeah.
yeah. So that makes it down to a 20, but that's still the same. Um, oh man, I get a 1d3 plus caster level bonus. Uh, that rolled up here.
So, Cirrus, you should see a couple blue monkeys that you will be able to control and name. Here comes the second one right now.
So cute.
They are little space monkeys. It was either that or the scorpion monkeys from the Carnival of the Damned, and I didn't want to torture you guys with bad memories.
So I have a
um,
+3 on basically everything, and anybody within 5 feet of me also gets that same +3. So stick close to me, and then when we get up close, it'll only last for 1 turn, so we should get moving soon.
All right, so that's going to last for 10
oh,
minutes. And did you roll a d4 for how it manifests?
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. And you took the -2 off of there, so it would have been 22 total, right?
Uh, I didn't take it, but a 20 and a 22 are the same value, the same
Got
results.
it.
Yep.
Perfect.
So I
Add
got a
additional
4.
+2. The heavenly host sings softly when the blessing is present. So you were casting this on Oracly, or you were casting this on yourself?
Casting it on myself.
All right,
And then
so
right before we go in, I'm gonna cast Holy Sanctuary on Orkley.
there's kind of like chanting around your body right now. As this holy light is surrounding you. The two monkeys are ready to go. Everybody is filled up on liquid. Vasici's finally put his clothes back on.
Let's go.
okay, wait. So Barkley, it doesn't look like you've healed up on your token. And
Oh,
have we
I
decided
yeah.
who's carrying the silver vessel with water? It's not going to be Orkley
Uh,
because he's got the crossbow.
Filled with 4 flasks. It's going to be a two-hander.
I mean, Barclay can carry it, if because I'm probably not gonna be in the front trying to fight.
Yeah, that's a good choice, I think. And then we can kind of try to stay within 5 feet of you, between
Yeah,
you and the bad guys.
yeah,
Yeah, sounds good. Especially with your blessing aura.
And then after you shoot the arrow, if you want, you can come and help with dousing stuff on it because you'll still be protected. Hopefully. So
Perfect. All right.
all right.
I think we're ready.
Go
Guys,
team.
I do not have a specific purpose here. I don't have any flasks or anything I can put water in. Somebody want me to take one of theirs, or what should I be doing?
You
So
can take
Daphne is going to give you a jar of honey that's 3/4 of the way full of honey. You're going to have to help her eat this, but then you can fill the flask up, the jar up. And then I think we should be able to tie it back closed again. And you should have a pretty big holy water bomb almost. I'm picturing a good sized jar of honey here.
I've got 2 full water skins. I can just give you one. I'm not going to be able to use both of them.
Either way.
I like the idea of us force eating a bunch of honey real quick so we can pull this off. So.
Yeah.
Hair's all sticky and covered down everywhere.
All right.
All right.
Well, that honey could come in useful later. So I don't know. You tell me if you eat it or you're just gonna have
Oh
one
yeah.
of Chris's water skins.
If you got the option with honey, take the option with honey.
Yeah, we're going to go for the sugar rush buff.
All
Yeah.
right, done.
Oracle will definitely grab a couple scoops if he can. Help, take one for the team to help out.
Yeah, Daphne is not going to have any of the holy water stuff on her because her agility penalty is so bad right now. You don't want her throwing.
All right. So go ahead and move in position. Oh, thank you. Thank you. What dice are we rolling for the drawing, Vitani? All right.
Drum
Eight
roll.
lucky, eight lucky entrants. Number 4. Cardman 2467. If you can click on Vitani Maru's name and send her your email address, I will contact you. Congratulations. You have won our Christmas gift certificate giveaway of $25 to the Goodman Games online store.
Nice.
And Elaine, if you could send me that person's name, so in case they aren't up. All right. You guys are in position, looking through the door. The right door is still kind of shattered. You can make out inside that the spirit is nowhere to be seen currently. And the bodies that were laying previously on the floor where you cut them are there no longer either.
and
So
can Oracle see through the door to where sorry, can we see through the door to where the statue and the tears are? The broken door.
So part of the door is busted, probably like I'm imagining, pieces kind of sheared off at kind of thin points and angles, hanging loosely. Slats are broken. So give me a luck check to see if you can see it.
I was gonna say like Oracle, do you think you think you can see through there to shoot at?
Oracle's short, so Oracle, give me a luck check to see if you can get a range in there.
The
Uh,
angle's
you
not really great.
All right.
The angle is not great.
Then I'm gonna cast Holy Sanctuary on Oracle to see if this, and that should
Ooh,
be a 15. Actually, no, it should be a -2
18?
18 plus
+3.
3.
So it's -2 plus, right? Because I still have the -2, but I have the +3.
Yeah.
Ah,
Right. So it would be 18.
18. So 18. Um, Enemies are compelled to focus their attack against other targets as long as the attacker is reasonably, as long as they can see. Unfortunately, at that level, it impacts me, not others.
Yeah, okay.
Um,
What did it need to be others?
24.
Can't get it that high.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm carrying this big bowl of water, so
Yeah, at least it protects you. It's still good.
yes.
You are glowing. Roll me another 1d4. You have multiple manifestations going on.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you have now an angelic halo, along with this singing and this glowing, this kind of chanting over your body.
And
Um,
you hear Barkley say, "I think Shell likes me."
Oh, Carpessa's got some competition.
could be.
Shell, don't
Uh,
come on. Don't tell Carpessa.
do you have mercurial effects on your spells?
Oh yeah, I do.
So, Holy Sanctuary and Blessing, do those have any mercurial effects?
Well, no, it has manifestations, right? Uh,
So, they don't have any mercurials?
not cleric
Yeah,
spells,
not
right?
cleric
Don't have
spells.
cleric spells don't have material.
Okay. All right. So, the stage is set. You guys are prepared. Who's going in first?
Push this other door open.
You push the door open, and immediately the spirit rises from the headless body on the altar in front of you, uh, letting out a voiceless scream. Her hands reach out to you. You can see now that the all the bodies that you'd seen previously have regenerated on the table. Whoops, wrong button. Where they had pulled away from the heads previously, they are now stationed back at their table, and the bodies are regrowing from the heads. So three of them appear to be um, previously dispatched that are very see-through, transparent, mist-like, and those are the ones that you have dispatched previously. So let's roll initiative. Turn order is up. Cleared, and it should be ready to go. Sorry, my roll 20 is lagging a little bit. Come on, roll 20. All right, there we go. So the main mist ghost gets that, and the priestesses get that.
Feel good that we've like figured out the story here.
So
What's going on?
Think you figured out the story. Holy cow,
Oh,
those
I
are some
feel pretty
horrible,
yeah.
confident.
So
those are some bad initiative rolls.
I'd like to thank D20 Roll 20 for the worst roll Matt's ever gotten on initiative
Hmm.
that I've ever seen.
That was amazing. -2.
-2, I like that.
That's
Nasty rolls. Barclay,
perfect.
you are holding the chalice. You are going to be up first.
Um, do I see the head that was cut off and rolled on the floor anywhere?
Sure. It is. Whoops, wrong button. It is right about here. It's kind of sitting right there.
All right, I'm gonna hold this bowl and I'm gonna walk past the ghost and head over to where the head is and pick it up and put it on the table next to the body.
You pick the head up as the ghost is screaming in your face, her hands reaching out to you with mist, chaotic mist energy swirling about them. and you pick the head up and set it on the altar next to the body. All right. Vasici?
I think I'm gonna try to take off running towards the back of the room 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30ish. And then for my action, I'll start dousing the honey jar on this head right here of this priestess.
All right, the honey jar is not large enough to have 4 applications in it, but it is large enough to have 2 applications.
All
You
right.
begin pouring the liquid over the face of the priestess right there. And if we recall the handout, which I will bring up for our viewers one more time, the black liquid was coming out of the ceiling, pooling down on the crevice of the northern wall and then branching out and climbing up on the altars to cover these faces. And out of the eye sockets, this yellow orange Icarus mist was being spewed into the air. As you pour the water over the alkalite's face, a opposing reaction happens. The mist is immediately quelled as the tar-like substance on the face begins to boil and wash away with every drop of water that you're pouring on it. And almost as if you were cleansing off, a stained image or something, as the water pours gently over the face, it just wipes away the tarish substance and immediately quells it back down into the ground. And you see this priestess, dissipate, her form extinguished and gone.
One down.
I thought we figured it out.
Daphne, it is your turn.
Now I rolled a 6. That would be ludicrous. So that happened on one of the fog priestesses, correct?
That is correct.
Now, did some of us are not can't see any of that whatsoever? Was there any sharing of the impact of that?
Not that I know of. I did not hear any sharing.
I did say one down. I didn't tell you what
He
I was
did.
doing.
Oh, yeah, that is
Well,
true. That is true. He did say
I can
one
work
down.
with that. So Daphne will move about here to get a good survey of what's going on in the room here. She will tell Harpo and Chico to go splash their water on different frog priestesses. She's going to try to indicate for Chico to go to this one and Harpo to go to this one. And you know what? Whatever happens, it's a positive in her book. And then she'll try to cast a shield on Barclay to keep him protected. So um,
You
let's do
need to
that.
touch Barclay
I think that's
to
a
cast the
touch.
shield.
Isn't he right in front of me here?
Oh,
Oh, I'm
He is
sorry.
Orkley.
not. He is.
No, Orclay.
Orkley,
Orclay.
yeah.
Sorry.
Hmm,
My
I'll
bad. I'm
take
not
it.
going that far in the room. Sorry, Barclay.
Yeah.
All right. So move Harpo and Chico with their skins to where they want to go.
Nice.
22 is
Nice.
very nice. Very nice.
Um, Matt, do I think Harpo can make a throw from there against this one?
You think if they went up to it and poured it directly on, that would be guaranteed that it would hit it? A throw would be about 50-50.
Right, so this one's going to occupy this square. This one's going to be up here, and then they're gonna throw their stuff. So they'll
They're
take
going to
their
throw it
guaranteed.
or they're going to pour it on there.
Sorry, they'll take their guaranteed pours. They'll take their guaranteed
Okay.
pours.
All right.
So we got a really good shield effect. The shield effect, and I'll dump this in the chat too. For Orclay, shield +4 armor class for 1d3 turns.
Nice.
Yep, and that is it.
Okay. So 2 more of the fog priestesses disappear and dissipate into the mist that from whence they came. They just kind of break up and they are gone. Oracly, you're going to be up next.
All right. Are you rolling that D3, Cirrus? Or do you want me to? You got it. Perfect. Okay. 1 turn. So that's 10 minutes, right?
10 minutes.
Nice. Okay. Oracly will move into the room and I think I'm actually gonna move. Kind of want to go here. Um, and to just kind of have like a nice straight shot at the wall um, with my crossbow.
Okay.
And I will try to aim at a tier and fire a bolt.
All right. And to show the people watching at home what you're shooting at, the face on the western wall is weeping tears, and they are hitting the floor and sizzling when they hit.
And you're next to
I get
Barclay,
plus
so you
three.
get a +3. Yeah.
Awesome. Add that in. That is an 11. I'm hoping that hits a stationary object.
Well, well, it's not stationary; it is moving, but an 11 is enough to hit it.
Oh, it's moving?
They
Like it's
are,
actively crying?
yeah, it's actively dripping down.
Oh, I see. But it's in
So
the
the
same. Okay.
tears, yeah, so the tears are coming from the eyes in a pretty steady stream. But 11 is enough to hit one of them. And as it punctures through the tear, it clatters off the wall, breaking and landing to the left. And the tear continues its dribble and hits the floor. Nothing else happens.
All right, that's Oracly.
All right, so the ghost of Etienne rushes forward, arms stretched out toward Barclay, who's tried to, well, who has picked up her head.
Is it not
And
Barkley cannot be the target because of the spell?
Holy
Yeah, he's
Sanctuary?
totally sanctuaried.
All
Yep.
right, tell me what that does again, Barclay.
Enemies are compelled to focus their attack on. I got a. What did I get? Enemies are compelled to attack on against other targets as long as an attacker can reasonably attack other targets instead of declare it must choose to do so. In order to resist the compulsion, the attack and attack the cleric, an enemy must make a will save versus the spell check DC. This will save requires even if the cleric is the only reasonable target. So if she wishes to do it, she has to do a will save against my um, holy sanctuary.
18.
He does wish to do it. She wishes to kill you where you stand. One, because you're wearing a moon emblem. Two, because you're wearing a Carpessa beads. And three, because you touched her head. And four, because you have this giant chalice. So she does in fact want to rip your face off.
Da,
But
da, 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 da.
with a 10, she is going to be unable to do so. So
Awesome.
you see her pushing against the power that is protecting you. And that is going to, well, let me see if she has two actions. No, she only has one action. So that is going to be her attack. She is going to be trying to fight past this barrier that you have currently. So she is driving her misty hands upon you, but it is having no effect. At this time, Coral, it is your turn.
Coral's going to step forward here and squirt water into the body wound of the Etienne.
You go up there and unload your water skin of holy water into the wound of Entienne's body. There is not any smoke. There is not any reaction at all, besides the hole in her body kind of filling up with the liquid. Good
And
thought. Good thought.
she didn't have any stuff on her face, though, right?
She did not have any of the black tar-like substance on her face or her body.
Got it.
All right. And at this point, two of the priestesses stand up from the table and dis disassemble themselves from their heads and rush forward toward Vasici. So these are headless creatures, Vasici, coming at you with their arms outstretched. Their misty bodies almost look, half ghost-like, like they're not even real. And the first one picks you up and slams you to the ground for 3 points of damage. These ladies hit hard.
They can survive that, but not much longer.
The second one is going to miss, however, reaching out to grab you. The other one kind of almost pulls you away from the other priestess's grip, as she has chosen to slam you onto the ground.
Real quick,
And
it might not matter, but bathing in that liquid, did I gain any sort of armor against these guys or anything?
you have not gained any sort of armor. So no, to answer your question. Barclay, it is your turn.
So Barclay is gonna be there standing next to the head and say, Etienne, you have made a grave mistake. May this water cleanse you of your sin. And he's gonna pour out of the bowl some of this water to just drape it all over her head that he set up on the table next to the body.
Interesting, interesting. Petitioning to Etienne. Let's see here. You pour the purifying water over her head, and it is filling her wound. You are petitioning her that she has made a grave error. Let's see, let's see. She. Hold on one second, hold on. She says, embrace me and forgive me. And instead of her arms reaching out to throttle you, they almost open in a welcoming embrace. Do you hug her?
Say what she said again. She said, "Embrace me," and
Embrace me and forgive me.
yeah. So Barclay
Is
will
this the ghost doing this or the body itself?
This is the ghost.
the ghost
So,
Barclay will embrace her and saying, you have made a mistake, but there is room to make things right.
all right. We will leave you two there right now in your possibly deadly embrace. And Vasici, it is your turn.
Way that I can. Let me ask this: the heads of these princesses, are they facing towards the center of the aisle?
Some of them, not all of them.
Um, what I want to do, this one that's attacking me up to I guess the north or whatever. I would like to try to get the rest of the honey jar of holy water on the head of that priestess if it's on that side of the bench.
The one to the north is on that side of the bench, and the one to the south is to this side. So the head is
Right.
on this side of the bench for that one, and this side of the bench for that one.
All right, so yeah, I want to try to douse the one to the north there.
Okay, done. And as you do so, the priestess that attacked you from the north dissipates into mist as she disappears, as her head is cleansed from the table. Even though her body was separated, you see her just kind of evaporate. Psst.
Okay.
So you would have had to move over right there. So we'll move you over right there, Lou. And Daphne, it is your turn.
Chico and Harpo, I'm going to command to go back to the pool. It shouldn't take them more than a couple rounds to go back, fill up their containers, and run back here. So I'm
They
going
can
to.
move 35 feet. So double move. They can move 70.
All right, and I'm going to move up and let's keep shielding people. So I've got Coral right there. So I'm going to shield Coral right there. So let's give that a toss. Keep up with these shield rolls. 19, another good shield roll.
Nice.
Ah,
Yeah. You know what? I would say that the 19 roll is better than the higher roll. So this is really not that bad. No, no, sorry, never mind. It's
Not
still
to put a
good.
wet blanket on all this, but doing the calculations, if I got it right, there's 5 rounds for the monkeys to get there and get back.
I was gonna ask this on my turn, but I was wondering if we can refill it with these tiers. Are these tiers clear, or is this Icker?
ooh, I don't know. We'll have to wait till your turn.
Well, I didn't ask, and I sent my monkeys back, so my monkeys are back. And Matt, rather than actually moving these, I'm okay with just giving these guys 5 rounds off the board. They're kind of my backup. They're our backup option. Should we need more water a couple
Well,
rounds into combat,
y-
we'll have a reason.
you have that's too much for me to keep track of. So you have plenty of time during your off turns to move them 70 feet. So go ahead and
Cool.
move them 70 feet during your off rounds. But now it is Oracle's turn. So Quarrel, you have the shield blasted on you. Make sure you remember that. And Oracle, it is in fact your turn.
So yeah, can you clarify those tiers? Are they clear liquid, or are they black ichor that are flowing out of its face in the wall?
So let's reread the section of the room again. Let's see
Meanwhile,
here.
Oracle's saying, "My wood didn't penetrate the tiers. Didn't work."
You sure the crossbow bolts are wood, not metal?
I
They
mean,
were
there's
wood.
Okay.
wood in them.
The huge face of a woman is carved on the wall opposite the tables, her mouth opening from the floor into a silent scream. The carving's eyes cry blackish tears which slowly ooze down her face, transforming into glowing blue water as they flow before evaporating on the ground. So, somewhere in the middle of them falling from her eyes to the ground, they do in fact become glowing blue liquid.
Yeah, so I think we can maybe refill there. Um, so he'll just kind of yell that and be like, "There's blue liquid here," um, and then he'll kind of be confused as to why Barclay is hugging the ghost, and will head this way and start pouring his water skin onto this fog priestess. Is that 1 or 2 doses in my water skin for the sake of this?
That's gonna be the whole dose of the water skin
Okay,
to
so yeah,
clean off the
he'll
face.
he'll
Matt,
dump
is there
it.
something in the corner of this room up here in the top left?
That is just part of the map. So no, there is not anything in the corner. So yeah, I can show you a little bit more. It looks like just a piece of the map. All right, Oracle, that was your turn. Um, Etienne is embracing Barclay at the moment, and Barclay, do you have forgiveness in your heart?
Yeah, I will forgive her and ask her to turn to Shull for forgiveness too.
All right, let's see. I need you to make a will save, please.
Okay. Is that at a -2? Uh,
I believe that's only for your spells.
okay, that's right. And then let me see if it is at a +3. Um, yeah, it is at a +3.
Is the 12 with the plus 3?
12 is with the +3.
You are extremely, extremely close.
I will
Would
burn a point of luck to make it closer.
a 13 is enough to succeed as her glowing eyes stare into you. You can feel her will trying to take control of you as her arms wrap around you, pulling you into her. But your mind is strong with the holy symbols and all the holy effects that you have upon you. You're able to fight back from her mental onslaught of trying to take hold of your mind. And give me a personality check finally.
That should have a plus. Well, I don't know. It's up to you if it has a +3 or not. Um, the plus
I think it,
three should be all attack rolls, damage rolls, saving throws, skills checks, and spell checks.
There you
yeah,
go.
so
Yeah.
this would have a +3, so that would be a 9.
Mhm.
Is that the final number you would like to keep it at?
Oh boy. Uh,
I can throw a luckier way
yeah, you throw one, make that.
for 2, make it 11.
It is a 9 right now, so would you like to throw 1 or 2 over there, Orkley?
Um, 2.
All right. So for a total of an added 4 points, making
Yeah.
it 13. All right, it all comes down to this roll right here.
Oh dear.
She squeezes, she pulls you into her, and she whispers in your ear, "You will never forgive me for the sins that I have committed!" And a screaming bursts in your head as she reaches out to try to kill you. Oh, with a 23! She rips into your body, almost kissing
Ah,
your face, sucking your life essence into her spirit.
Hey, Matt,
Uh,
you
yes,
go on
sir.
the way back train. I had this cool little card you sent me, and
Oh no.
I was told I could tear it in half and get an effect from that.
Did I tell you what that card did, Lou?
Uh, all that the note said is that I'd have to tear it in half to use it. So,
Do you have the card present?
got it right there.
here in the camera.
All right, your camera is jumping for me, so
We
it
can
what does
see
it
it.
say on it? It's a heart,
Yeah,
right?
El Corazon.
So these are from Spanish bingo cards that I got from a garage sale for like $1, and I've cut them up and sent them in my swag packs to my players. I think I might have only gave Lou one so far, but everyone's eventually going to get one. And they are just, like in-game use card effects that will do something. So go ahead and rip it in half.
I really feel like he is the heart of our team here.
Yeah.
All right. I hear the tearing sound, even though I cannot see it. I will watch it later for the enjoyment of that. So Etienne's mouth sucks the life out of your body, and all of the none of the fog maidens are damaged, but you do suffer 5 points of damage, which would uh you're still alive.
Still
So
alive.
the effect of the heart has not taken place yet, but the effect will remain in perpetuity until it is needed. So once it is needed, I will let you know what it does. All right. So Quarrel. Yeah, Quarrel. It is your turn.
Coral drops the now expended water skin, sprints over here, and uses the second and final water skin in his possession to dump on the head of this priestess who is attacking Basishi with her disembodied body.
It's
All
actually
right,
one more over.
Oh, is it this one?
yeah, it's from the far table right there. Yep.
Uh, would I have to pass through the body to get, like, can I still get there?
You can't go through friendlies, so you would have to
Jump the
go
table.
around, or yeah, jump the table. You could go to the south.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that.
All right, done. So that one has disappeared. Yeah, so if she wouldn't have rolled the 23 on that will save, Barclay, all she had to do was beat your personality score. So she had to beat that 13. If she wouldn't have beat it, it would have been a totally different story. But well thought out, well thought out. So that priestess is gone, and two more rise up. This one is going to come at Coral right here, and this one back here is going to come down to Vasici. So we'll do Coral first. The Misty Priestess reaches out to grasp onto you, but I believe she misses with an 8. Vasici, does a 12 hit you?
Or yes.
So you're going to suffer 2 more points of damage. And are you still alive, Lou?
I got 2 left to give.
2 left to give. All right. So now it's going to be back up to Barclay.
I'm gonna push her away from me. Say you had your chance. Um, sh- you will have to face Shull when this is over, and then I will heal myself because I'm down to 1 hit point. So,
All right.
uh, let's see here. Go over.
-2 +3, so it'll be a +1 of whatever you roll. So it's going to be an 18.
Yep, 18, which I think is the same as what's up there, which is three dice. 18. Yep, 18's the same.
Huh?
So I gain back 5 hit points, which brings me back up to full.
All right. So you have cleansed a total of 6 of the priestesses. 3 are regenerating their bodies. So the 3 with X's are still kind of formed on the table, but they can't do anything. They can't arise because you had already killed them previously. And it looks like there's, a total of 3 left, 2 of which have stood up. Um, Barclay has just healed themselves. Vasici, it is your turn.
All right. So I'm engaged with the one, so I can't leave, or else they get a free attack, right?
You can leave, but they would get a free attack, yes.
All right.
And you're out of water.
Yes, sir.
What are you going to do?
Um, I guess my only resolve is to try to attack with my staff here, trying to get some distance between us. So I'll
I
jab
would
her
ag-
with the staff.
I would agree. Roll a d30 on your attack, please.
Oh, okay, hold on a minute.
Uh,
Change that
you
up.
asked what benefit bathing in the pool had, and it wasn't to your armor class, but it was to your attack.
Yeah, take that.
Nice.
Oh, a 10. I'm gonna burn some luck.
All right.
Um,
You think actually a 10 hits.
oh, they're mine then.
Unnecessary. Yeah, they don't. They're made of fog. They don't have any weaponry. Go ahead and roll me some damage.
All right. Let's see. I think there's a
And
D6.
I'll give you an added benefit of 2 dice up the dice chain on damage too.
Oh, nice.
So,
Yeah, so it'd be 7 and the 8.
you have a staff that does 1d6.
Pretty sure. Hold on.
All right.
Try that. Weapons. Nope. Redoing that. Sorry. So 5. It'd be now. It would
Be
be
a 1d.
6.
It'd be a 1d6, but I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll take the 1 that you rolled from the d8. Do you have any strength bonus?
It's -1, but if you hit, it's unless
Yeah.
this is a different situation, you always do 1. So
No, you always do 1. So your staff goes through her, and you see her weaken slightly. Daphne, it is your turn.
Okay, so how many visible containers of holy water does Barclay have currently?
Barclay has a chalice with 4 containers of holy water in it.
Okay.
Is that what you're asking me?
That's what I'm asking, yeah. So in Daphne
3.
Three.
3
3.
because Barclay poured one on the head.
Okay. And that's when the pouring occurred, that's when Daphne observed the forgiven statement, correct?
No, you observed the forgiven statement when Barclay said you have committed an error and the pouring happened at the same time. That whole kind of interaction.
Okay. Um Daphne's really worried about Barkley. So she's going to come forward. And can she reach in and grab some of the water from the chalice with her hands without knocking it out of Barclay's hands?
Uh,
She wants to reach in, kind of cup water out of the chalice, and basically throw it in her face.
I don't think that would be especially hard. Yeah, so maybe an agility check, DC like 6 or DC 6.
Agility check to mess it up and knock it out of Barclay's hand, or agility check to just not do it successfully?
Agility check to hit the spirit as you're cupping, and either you cup and it kind of flows through your fingers and one use is lost, or it hits the face.
And you have a +3 because you're standing within 5 feet of me.
I'll take that because I have a -2 because my agility sucks. Let's go ahead and
Oh,
do
that'd
that
be too
then.
hard.
Um,
All right.
and I'm saying that I'm also I'm also sincerely forgiving her at the same time as doing this as well. Now I got a 16 actually on my agility check, which is a miracle because I rolled an 18 on the die. That's actually a 19. So miracles can happen. Here we go. Order of the chicken. And now Daphne would not have any idea, unfortunately, what she's forgiving her for. So Daphne is unfortunately forgiving her for her unforgivable fashion sense. So, but it is sincere. So,
So I'm not sure if throwing water in someone's face is a very forgiving maneuver, but the water does splash up into the spirit's face and passes right through it onto the floor. It seems to have no effect on the spirit whatsoever, but there are 2 uses left in the chalice. And we are up to Oracly.
And Oracly is going to um, approach as well on the other side and is going to kind of say like, "Get off my friend," and address the woman, and he's going to say, "If forgiveness is what you desire, Carpessa is the one who can help you. Don't be a fool." And he's going to try to, uh, mechanically speaking, attack her with his magical feather boa that's around his neck,
Okay,
with the intention of just constricting her.
understood. Go ahead and make an attack.
Ready. Feather boa. And that'll be +3, right?
It would be because you are within 3 feet of Barclay.
That is a
So
13.
a 13, the boa wraps around the body of the priestess and goes right through her and whips back around to your hand, having no additional effect. She says, I
All
do
right.
not need your forgiveness. It will be you who is begging for forgiveness for entering my chamber. And to prove her point, she is going to stare into. Um, she is going to stare into Oracly's eyes. Since you have engaged her in discussion, I need you to make a will save, please, Oracly.
Will save. +3.
+3.
Oh, yeah. Nat 20. 24.
Oh, so dirty. All right. Uh, Fight off the effects of her trying to dominate your mind. The power of Carpessa and Shul and Kyaset are strong, radiating from Barclay.
Yeah,
Coral, it is your
the
turn.
last time we were in this situation, Oracly literally brought Barclay back by appealing to Carpessa, so he's feeling super, strong and empowered being next to his friend.
All right, Coral, you are up.
Uh, Being out of water, Portal's going to haul out his mithril longsword and attempt to just dismember this body in front of him. Oof. I don't think that's going to hit.
Swings through her as she quickly dashes to the side, and you slam into the altar that she was laying upon. But she will return the favor. As she tries to reach forward, grabbing you, slamming you to the ground. And 23 for 4 points of damage. Good
Ouch.
thing you got that big fat new health bonus.
Well, it wasn't that
That
bad. Not get ahead of ourselves.
is gonna hurt. The last priestess stands up and reaches out toward Vasici. Vasici has one on each side of him, surrounded, already injured. He sees them reaching for him. He ducks out of the way, but not quickly enough. A 19 for 2 points of damage as the other one reaches for Vasici. 15 for 4 more points of damage as Vasici goes down, a scream emitting from his lips. Vasici, that does put you down, does it not?
Like a diseased dog. Yes.
Excellent, excellent. All right. Just so we know, everyone watching, we have a party member down. Barclay, it is your turn. You see your friend go down.
Yeah, with Barclay going down, I will just leer at what's her name?
Etienne.
Etienne to be
Now,
like,
normally, so I've given this a lot of thought on Raw. Normally, I would say that you were engaged with NTN because you guys had been in melee before, but Bob has said that the target can really only be engaged when melee, active melee, with one person. I gave it a lot of thought, and I was like, yeah, that does kind of make sense. So NTN is engaged in active melee with Oracly right now, which means if
okay,
you wanted to leave, you could without incurring an attack.
all right, and um, yeah, I look at the rest of them. I need to go. I need to go help Vasici. And Barclay heads over to Vasici and lays hand to try and heal him.
All right, so Barclay
Did
has
you leave the
abandoned.
water?
Yeah,
He did
I'll
not.
have. Okay, well, I did not.
His token is already moved.
My token's already
And
all right. So I take the water with me, I guess. So I will go over and I don't know how to. You can't do a plus on the lay on hands. Oh, I never mind. I see where to do it. I can add it here. +3.
Yeah, it's on the second pop-up view or one of the pop-ups.
Vasici is chaotic, I believe, so opposite alignment.
That's 1 dice for you, Vasici, to roll.
These are these D6s or 8s?
It's going to be a D6, so you could roll it on your character sheet. It should say healing. There should be a button for healing on your character sheet underneath your stats. Healing hit points. If you look under core abilities, core stats, healing
Nope.
hit points. And I don't know if it'll add it automatically, but did it change your character sheet automatically?
No.
No.
Nope. I'll put it in there. Oh.
All right, so you are alive.
Would that be plus
You are.
3 because of the blessing? Does that count on? those rolls?
No. I don't think so, because that's not a skill check, a save, an attack.
Yeah, I guess it was on the lay on hands itself.
Yeah. So you are up. You do suffer -1 stamina permanently, I believe. I don't know. I'm always confused. Or Barclay, you've had this rule played against you many times. Is it one permanent stamina point loss?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oracle did. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
One permanent stamina. And if that affects your
Yeah.
modifier, then your hit point maximum would be affected as well.
All right. And Vasici, it is your turn. You have renewed life.
Okay. So where's the holy water at? The big goblet of it.
Barclay has
Right,
it.
right in front of you, actually.
Yeah.
So like I sputter life, like coughing up blood. See what's going on. I'm gonna try to take the holy water from his hands if he'll let me.
Yep.
What was your maximum stamina before Vasici? Was it 4 or
It was
5?
5. I went to 4. I think.
Okay.
Didn't it change on odds?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're right.
Yeah, it's still -2.
Yep.
So will Barclay allow me to grab the goblet from his hands there? Or...
Sure. Yep.
And then behind me here, which table has a body on it? Is it the one directly behind me or the one off to the right?
The one to your right and the one to your left. So the one directly in front of you does not have a body anymore. It's the ones to
Okay.
the right and the left.
Either one of those two have heads near me.
Both of the heads are on the opposite side.
All right. Oh, jeez.
But you are not engaged in active melee anymore because you died.
All right. Grabbing that, taking a adjustment backwards here, and spilling a dose on the head. Yeah, over here on the right.
All right. The misty priestess dissipates into fog. Daphne, it is your turn.
So Daphne's I quote idea didn't work, but it looks like Orkley's joining the fray over here and may have an idea, plan, hope, dream, or something. So Daphne is going to try to keep the specter occupied. She's going to try freezing hands on it and see if it does anything whatsoever. Amazingly, a 17. So that would give me a blast of cold that freezes a single target with for 1d6 points of damage. So,
Okay.
does she take any points of damage from that? Any impact whatsoever from 2 points of freezing damage?
She does. So you see the cold blast of your arcane energy hit into the misty like fog, ghost like substance of Etienne the Spirit. And you see frost kind of form briefly on her hair before she shakes it quickly, hoping you didn't see. But it did, in fact, affect her.
So, I believe I have her attention, so go do whatever you want now. I've insulted her fashion sense and done some damage to her. So, and I believe my monkeys would make it to the pool and probably be able to fill up their flasks, assuming it's a one action item.
Agreed, agreed. Oracle, it is your turn.
All right. Oracle doesn't really know what to do anymore. So he's gonna first just yell, "What do you want?" Does she respond?
She, excuse me. Um, she does not respond.
And
Well, actually, she'll hold her arms out, say, "Embrace me and forgive me."
um, Oracle is going to. I gotta make a roll because Oracle's really not bright. But yeah, um, yeah, he's just confused. he watched her suck the life out of Barclay, and he doesn't want to embrace her.
Yeah,
Um,
it wasn't a very nice embrace.
Sarah thinks embracing the body, but Oracly doesn't think that. So yeah, he's gonna just go. I guess since her attention's turned, he's gonna go over to the wall and try to fill up his water skin with the section of tears that seem clear.
All right, sorry. The dog is looking to go out. Um, Heading over to the wall by the section of tears, you reach down to right where they're hitting the ground, and you can't really submerge your water skin. It's got kind of like a spigot spout on it, so
Yeah.
a couple drops are flowing in here and there, but you're not really collecting it. If you wanted to cut the top off, maybe your water skin would then be useless, but it would serve as some kind of vessel.
Mm. Yeah, well, that's his turn. He's just kind of he's fumbling around with that, trying to get a couple drops in it.
All right, give me 2 seconds to let the dog out real quick. Hold on 1 second.
Quick, while Matt's away, let's move all our tokens around.
Somebody put in a reroll. Did you all see that?
Ooh, what was that for?
Oh.
Yeah, Vitani, what was that for specifically?
All right.
Redeemed it so I could re-roll my health recovery there.
Oh, yeah.
What? Tim is trying to keep you guys alive.
Yep.
All right.
That was better.
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, I'll give it the old 50-50 chance. Even though you say you've gotten her attention, that doesn't mean you've really gotten her attention, Daphne. She might think your little icicles are insignificant. So, low is Oracly, high is Daphne. She's going after Oracly still. So, she chases after Oracly, who has engaged her. And instead
Does
of
does
staring
that
into your
does
eyes,
Daphne get an extra attack?
that's a good question.
Yeah, because she was engaged with Daphne.
She's not.
She moved
Daphne
it, I
didn't
guess.
move up to the 5 foot square. Daphne's
Yeah.
kind of on the other side of the pedestal, and Daphne's not engaged in active melee.
I did put my
D-
hands in her face, though.
Daphne
Splash
is
water on
engaged
her.
in.
Yeah.
Daphne is
That
engaged
was
in
2 rounds
active
ago.
spell casting.
Oh.
I don't know if I would consider spell casting melee now.
No.
Hmm. It's going to take more thought and more discussion with Bob. But at this point, I'm going to say no. Well, because she's not moving. Etienne is staying right there. I can attack Oracly right there, so I'm
Makes
not
sense.
leaving. I'm not leaving any kind of combat. Get out of here, you guys! You cheaters, trying to get me extra attacks. Does a 12 attack hit Oracly?
Oh, no, because I have +4 AC.
All right. Well, there you go. Her arms are reaching out, scraping at you, but she can't get past this magical
Magic
barrier.
shield.
And Coral, it is going to be your turn.
Okay, I'm going to try the same thing. Just trying to get some swings in on this headless body. That is
Nice.
Ooh, there you
Crit.
go. Lou talking about extra attacks. You guys. Let's see. What was your crit? It was a 3? 3 on crit table
I
2.
crit tables. Forget what those are.
Clean strike to the back. Inflict an extra 2d6. Oh my
Oof.
goodness.
Ooh.
So 3 points of damage right there as she turns to reach for Barclay. And 4 more points is going to dissipate this priestess. The head is still on the platform, so I'm actually going to change her to an X because the head is still on the platform, um, but the body is no longer there. All right, good attack. And it's going to be the Fog Priestesses up next. With only one left, she is going to reach out for Vasici again, who has got a new lease on life twice, once by Barclay's healing and once by the gods of the dice. But a 10? Does a 10 hit you, Lou?
Off by one. I got it. Good.
All right. So she reaches forward, trying to slash at you, misses horribly. And Barclay, it is now your turn. There is one serving of holy water left that Vasici has. You have healed Vasici. You have abandoned your other two characters. What do you do now?
So the fog priest that Coral just took down is the head of that one still
Yes,
exuding. Then since Barkley's right, I assume right next to the table, right next to the head. Is that right?
correct.
Barclay is going to pull out his water skin, which he still has, and it was full of water, and douse the water skin onto the head
All right.
of the fog
So
priest.
water skins, I had Agnar having two. Barclay had one.
Yeah,
Coral had two. Oracley had one. Oracley had two, right?
No, I had one.
You had one. So 1 + 2 is 3, plus 1 is 4, plus Agnar's 2, because he's not here. You guys have used way more than 4. So where are all these extra water skins coming from?
The
well,
the goblet had 4 doses and the honey jar had 2.
yeah.
Right. But the water skins are gone. So how do you've used the Siege used the water skin coming in, Coral used one, Coral used another
Beseech
one.
used the honey jar that had 2 doses in it.
That was it. The honey jar. The honey jar is what I forgot. Thank you. I was trying to figure out where all these waters came from. I forgot the honey jar for 2.
And
Okay.
y'all thought beekeeping would not come in handy.
All right. So you use your water skin to pour it on this one right here, which then the head does dissipate and is gone.
Okay.
Vasici, go ahead.
And I will I'll just move over closer to Vasici in case that fog priest attacks him. Give him a little bonus there.
All right. Sichi, it is your turn.
He's gonna make a little dive over that middle table there and try to just land the goblet upside down on the head of the priestess.
All right. Easily done. Yeah, not that difficult. You slide over, pour the last remaining vestige of the liquid onto the priest's face, and she does, in fact, dissipate as the water cleanses the tar from her head. Daphne, it is your turn.
Daphne's a little bit of a loss of what to do here. So she's going to have to fall back into the tried and true of damage it till it's dead in true DCC fashion. So she's going to freezing touch the freezing hands the specter again. Ooh,
Okay.
ooh, this might be for all the marbles.
What? What? I
Um,
don't see it yet. I don't see it
I
yet.
don't
What is
see
it?
anything.
yeah. Well, I haven't rolled yet because I'm making the spell burn calculation right now because
Ah,
Oh
when I
my god.
roll
Aren't Well, like, haven't we discussed Spellburn? Aren't you about like almost ready to die and you're gonna Spellburn again?
I can't stop. I
do
can't.
it.
Goodness. They're
Um,
addicted.
let's
Viewers,
take
they
it.
are addicted.
No, yeah, I am. So let's no spell burn. Let's just do karmic casting. We'll let that trigger the Mercurial effect. So I'll do the 1d5. It means the next time I cast, I'm down 1d5. Here we go. Ooh, that's a waste.
Boo.
It is a waste.
Gives me
There seems to
critical
be
effect.
no effect.
So that is a lost spell.
All right. Would you like to move at all?
Well, she is no longer in combat. She's no longer in combat with me, right?
That is correct.
Um, I need to move next to Barclay because I at least want to give another target besides Barclay if she tries to go after Barclay.
Oracly, yeah.
That's it.
All right, Oracley, it is your turn.
All
Can you
right,
guys
Oracly.
defeat Priestess?
Yeah, he's kind of frustrated with this water. He just like throws his water skin against these tears and huffs. And he turns around and he says, "Stupid Hawea and her stupid riddles. hoping maybe name dropping that name will do something, Judge.
Let's see. What name did you name drop?
Her daughter, the hag.
Her daughter. Uh, it does not have any effect.
All right. He knows that trying to hit her with regular weapons doesn't do anything. So, and his magical feather boa went right through her. So he, I don't know. I guess in frustration, he'll take his horn and he'll just blast it in her face to try and daze her.
Okay. Give me a horn blast attack if we have one, or do I just
I
roll a
think it's
will
just a
save?
will save. Yeah, DC 15.
All right. She is going to be immune to this effect. So as you blow the horn, it seems to have no effect upon her whatsoever. And well, there is one effect. She reaches forward to choke the life from your body as you are blowing upon the horn. Actually, with both of you there, you've moved in range to become quite great double targets. She's going to bring out a new attack. Little fog burst. Ooh, you guys have not seen this one before.
Ooh.
Uh, The fog thickens around her body, and tendrils wrapping around you, reaching through your arms and your hands like coiled snakes and vines, wrapping around your head and cutting off the air that you're breathing as it squeezes your throat and goes in through your mouth and nostrils. Both you and Daphne and Oracly are going to take 3 points of damage. But give me a fort save, please.
That is a 5.
12.
Let's see. Uh, all right. Both of you are going to collapse to the ground, prone, and be unable to act on your next turn.
Right.
Well, you're not collapsing to the ground, but you're choking and gasping for air. You cannot breathe, which means you cannot act, but you are not prone. All right, Coral, it is your turn. As a cloud of fog erupts from the western edge of the room.
Seeing his friends go down in a heap, Coral strides this way with his mithril longsword and looking at the tears and in an act of desperation, he's like, well, maybe this will do something. Pops open the blue liquid that smells like lemons, chugs it.
Blue liquid that smells like lemons. Where did you get this?
What do you mean? You gave it to me. We
I
found it.
know I gave it to
That
you, but
was
I gotta be able to
that
look back and see where you got it from.
it was in the temple 2 sessions ago.
All right,
The
let's
blue
see.
viscous potion smells like lemon. I think it was
Study or something or a
In
bedroom.
the little room right there,
It was in one
here
of
it
the first
is.
rooms we went into.
Yeah, it was in the
glass
temple.
globe, light blue liquid. No, that
Same where
wasn't
we
it.
got the metal conical flask. I think it was right in that first room or the
All
second
right,
room.
alchemy notes. All right, and tell me what you have written down again.
What I've written down is I
Blue
think
viscous potion smells like lemons. I got it.
okay.
Make me a fortitude save.
Oh, great. Love is good, right?
You
Yeah.
collapse on the ground.
Okay.
As you're rushing over, drinking the potion, you collapse on the ground right in front of them.
All right, guys.
Amazing. Well, 3 down.
All
Okay.
right. Outstanding. The fog priestesses are gone. So there are still 3 heads remaining on the statues. Barclay, it is your turn.
Barclay's gonna grab the two holy symbols that he has, um, his gourd full of seeds in one hand, and the crescent moon of Shull in the other, and run over to um, Etienne and say to her, "Repent!" And I'm going to cast Word of Command on
Okay.
that.
Nice.
Do, do, do. Holy Sanctuary, Second Sight, Detect Evil, Blessing. Just got to find it on the Roll20 sheet here. Word of Command, there we go. And this will be at a +1 because I have the -2, +3.
Let's
Ooh,
roll.
and that's a 20.
Right. Now I'm thinking, is command a charm spell? Is command a charm spell? Command, either does it say. Looks like the consensus for D&D Beyond is that it is not a charm spell. So without further investigation, that's what we're going to go with. So you say repent,
Yeah.
and it will be determined what she does upon her turn. But you feel the power of your magic go through your voice. As roll me a 1d4. And we're running a little bit over, but we want to try to get through this battle before we stop. The word appears in the sky in fiery letters. Repent. Vasici, it is your turn.
All right, I'm going to try to clamber over the tables 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. At that range, can I use my staff to try to wipe away tears from the statue, or am I short?
Tears are coming from the eyes of the statues hitting the floor. How do you just want to windshield wash them off the wall?
I just want to try to use this wooden staff to wipe them off her cheek. As they're, you said that at one point they go from black to blue. I'm gonna
Correct.
try to, like, get the black droplets off before they turn blue.
Yeah, sure. No problem. As you go to swipe the first black droplet, it immediately starts to tar and drip down your staff, smoking horribly toward your hands. Do you drop the staff or do you keep it?
Hmm. I'm going to drop it, I think.
Hey, your staff clatters to the ground, the black tar-like substance all over it. The tears continue to fall out of the eyes. Daphne, you are incapacitated. Oracly, you are
But,
incapacitated.
but you know who's not incapacitated on round 6 here?
Who's that?
The monkeys.
The monkeys. Where are they, Cirrus?
I'm moving
Are
them.
they? All right, the monkeys are headed on their way back. Good thing we did send them. They may save the day, these monkeys. You have said repent. She turns her attention to you, extending her arms wide, and she says, embrace me and forgive me.
No, it is not my forgiveness you need.
No.
All right. All right. That is her action. You have denied her. Coral, you are incapacitated. Barclay, it is your turn.
Uh, all right. Barclay's gonna go over to the table, grab Etienne's head and body, and throw it out the door.
I'll
Throw,
say you can throw one or the other, not both.
or how about I can grab both and drag them through the door? I want to get them both
Uh,
out through the door.
no.
No.
You'd be able to. I mean, you're trying to grab a body that's dead weight and manage a head too. So you're gonna have to like throw it over your shoulder,
All
then
right.
grab onto the head, right?
Then I'll.
So you can say you can grab them this turn, but you wouldn't be able to move. That's going to take 2 actions to grab them both. Or you could grab one and pitch it out the door.
I'm gonna grab her head and throw it through the door and try and
Yeah.
hopefully make it smash on the wall on the other side. Just
That's not
because.
very nice. That is not
Quite
very
She's
nice at
offensive.
not
all.
being nice to us. Like,
Yeah.
She's she's asking for hugs. You
We
grab the
yeah.
head,
we
throw it
hugged
out
her,
the wall.
and then
Uh,
she
it,
choked us.
Give me a strength check to see how far and how hard it hits the wall, if it does. 14, it goes all the
14.
way to the wall, bounces off, thuds on the ground. It doesn't have any effect on her that you can see. Visici, it is your turn. Your staff is on the ground, covered in tar. You do still hold the chalice.
I'm gonna see if I can move forward a bit here and catch the blue tears in the chalice before they hit the ground.
As you set the chalice against the floor, you can just collect a tear before it begins to before it's completely blue. Just right before it hits the chalice, it becomes glowing blue and clear and pure. So yeah, you do have one dose of tears in the chalice currently. Um, you want to well, that's going to be your action, gathering that one dose right now. You would be able to gather 2 more for every movement. So next round you can gather 1 more and then move. Every to gather a tear is going to be an action, is what I mean.
Okay.
Daphne, you are no longer incapacitated. What would you like to do?
So I'm down on the ground prone.
No, we determined that you weren't prone, just choking.
Okay. So, um, so my only combat spell I really have that's awesome. The more I funnel through it, I just affect more targets. Unfortunately, so that's disappointing. I could cast magic missile and make things interesting, but in my world, casting magic missile is an evil act for me. So I'm gonna spell burn and just try to cast magic missile again. Sorry, cast freezing hands on her straight up again. So um,
Right.
spell burn to cast freezing hands on her. Boop 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 boop. That would be a 10. That would be another miss. Nothing
Um,
happens.
minus 1d5 as well, because you're karmic casting.
Oh, good point. So I get the
+3, the blessing.
cool.
You're not within 5 feet of Barclay, though, right? Is it
I thought
five
it was
feet or
30
10 feet?
feet.
Oh, is it 30
Uh,
feet?
no. 5 feet. It's
Oh,
within
Okay.
5 feet. Yeah.
So it's actually an 8 with the karmic casting. Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, so that way it'll reset for next time. Might as well burn it up. Oracly, you have finished choking, and you're free to act again.
all right. Oracly wants to move around if possible, and assist Barclay's plan and try to grab the body. Can I do that?
Yes. So you moving over there, you're going to be positioning the body on your shoulders, getting it ready to kind of run out of the room.
Yep.
Lifting this body as a halfling is going to be this whole action. I mean, it's
Sure. I
it's
do
dead
have a
weight.
strength of 17.
That is true.
Buff,
Well,
right? Buff is
I
the
am
word
the
I've
buff
heard.
halfling.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still an unwieldy body, and you're a short
Yeah, fair.
halfling.
It doesn't have a
So
head, so
That's
there's not
true.
it's a
It's a little
little
shorter
lighter.
than normal.
you've got the body. You've got the body. We'll
Okay,
say
deal.
that. Now, with everyone so nice and close, she is going to fog burst once more. As the fog. Oh,
Oh,
no!
yes,
Ooh.
yes,
That's not fair. I was gonna hit. I was gonna
yes.
hit everybody.
Nope, not today.
Hey, Tim, if you're out there, Tim, give me a reroll. Tim, Tim, give me the reroll players. Let's see. What did I
I'm
get
sorry,
on my
chat
fumble
is down
table?
right now.
A 1. The tumult of battle has confused the creature and it falls to the bottom of the initiative order for the remainder of the combat. The result can be applied once per monster. If the result is the same for the next round, the next highest fumble. So she has fallen to the bottom of the initiative round, which isn't a big change. She's just behind Coral. Coral, it is your turn.
I'm
You're
unconscious.
incapacitated. Yeah, that is true.
Hopefully disabled.
So Barclay, it is your turn.
Barclay then is going to help seeing Orkley grabbing the legs, pulling, and Barclay's going to like grab the arms or the torso and lift the other side and help pull that body out of the room.
All right. Working together, you two can maneuver the body outside of the room. You see Chico and Harpo coming back as you get the body out. The spirit doesn't isn't affected. She's still vehemently staring at the people inside and staring at you horribly. Visici, you have gathered one usage of water. Would you like to stay for another, or would you like to go with the one?
I think a smile will break across my face as I hear the noises of the chimps getting closer, and I'm just gonna take the one I got and go douse this priestess's head up here.
As you douse the head, the priestess's head and regenerating body disappear. The body was growing back, but now it just wisps up in a thin line of mist. And we now are up to Daphne and Chico and Harpo.
Okay, Daphne's gonna call out. Anybody want a flask? Anybody want a flask? Anybody want a flask?
Do the last two monkeys.
Then she's
Let
gonna
the
send
monkeys do the work.
Chico and Harpo to deal with the last two heads.
As Chico and Harpo rush up to the last two bodies, the magic from the spell dissipates, and the flasks fall on the ground, emptying their contents before they can hit the faces. No, I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh. All right. So, with the last two heads cleansed, as soon as the last head is cleansed, something happens. Hold on. Etienne's ghost takes on a different demeanor. Everyone is going to gain 1 point of luck immediately.
Sweet.
You see the ghost become almost peaceful, and she looks at you each and says, "Thank you for releasing my spirit. I made a horrible mistake to sacrifice myself to save my people. After swearing allegiance to peace and giving my word, even though others broke their promise, I did what I thought was right. But the swearing stone would not abide by any breach of the contract that I made. You have now laid my body to rest, and I thank you." And then her spirit kind of disappears. Please don't be so disrespectful with my body.
She says that as Barclay's kicking the head or something, probably,
So we ran way over, way over. That's where we're going to end it for today. Thanks everybody for tuning in. In the next section or two, we are going to finish, and we are going to be giving out an autographed copy of Escape from the Shrouded Fen once our last session hits. Whenever we get out of this fen, we are going to be giving away an autographed copy of it. But thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. And has anybody got any news or anything they want need to share?
Just remember, only you can prevent temple hauntings. Only you.
All right. We'll see y'all later. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in 2
All right.
weeks.